It cracks, moves at max. It's movie night. The gang's all here, gripped with fear. More horror films, alright. From bad to worse and worse to shit, you'll beg to fucking quit. Malevolent Movies has arrived in stereo now, nowhere to hide.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome to Malevolent Movies, the podcast, episode number 43. We are beginning phase 2 of the big rock and road trip summer series. I'm Ryan, and as tonight, we are joined by Zach is here, Trevor's here, Joe is here, and Tyler is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Zach, thank you for making your patented monkey call. I appreciate it.
I just can't help myself whenever I hear my own voice.
Worm shark.
Exactly. Zach is also part of Worm Shark. He's representing his band,
Yes, sir.
Worm Shark, with tonight's title.
Easily moving on to the second leg of the tour here. I thought I'd bring out something that really embodied what Worm Shark's all about, which is cheesiness and bugs. And so we had a lot of things that we could have chosen, but this one just felt like a Worm Shark production. So we went with 2017's film Dead Ant.
Worm Shark Pictures proudly presents.
Worm Shark Productions. It's a new leg of Hollywood.
Dead Ant.
This feels like something that, if it had a few more practical effects in there, could have been something conceived by Nick and myself. And I'm really excited to dive into Dead Ant.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's Sci-Fi Channel, but with a budget. It seemed like except for like the ants themselves, like they had like a decent budget. They have like a lot of big name actors. They have decent cameras.
As a big fan of the Sci-Fi Channel stuff, of the Sharknadoes of the world, of the Lavalantulas, this, if you told me, was canonically part of the Lavalantula universe, I would believe you.
Okay,
and I think it should be. And I'll die on that hill, that ant hill. All day, every day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Zach, don't do it. We miss you.
Yeah. All right, I won't do it this time, but
no.
we're watching Dead Ant.
But what they were trying to hit with their second pick of the summer, this is the concert area where you really need to see that rock and roll spirit. Here's kind of the parameters they were trying to hit in their scores. So it's the music of the band in question, which is Sonic Grave. The clothing and costuming, stage flair, the actual soundtrack of the movie, the rock and roll spirit. And I think overall, especially on that clothing and costuming, God damn, were these some beautiful men.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And it was weird because the songs, except for the Areola song that we'll get to at the end, they're re-recordings of legit 80s. There's at least 2 Kick songs that are used in the movie, including Don't Close Your Eyes, which was a very famous Kicks ballad, and it's the ballad of this band, although it's a re-recorded almost karaoke version of it. So I was happy to see that because I do like Kicks as far as the 80s hair metal. Blow My Fuse is one of my favorite hair metal songs, so I was very happy to hear that during the climax of this movie.
And Joe, did you hear your favorite song ever?
Oh, what was that? The Butthole Lickers, Men Who Kiss Each Other, something like that?
People who steal jokes and have no respect for
Kissing
film.
cousins.
Absolutely
No,
not.
so I guess Joe's just not a real fan of Aphex Twin because there was a Window Licker remix in this movie.
Oh,
okay.
Because you love to
haven't
point
really
out, that's
listened.
Aphex Twin. Oh, that's Aphex Twin. And I'm
Okay,
pointing my
okay.
finger right now, Joe. That's Aphex Twin.
Okay, I didn't see your camera up. Okay,
I'm coming for
it's
you
good
today.
that
I'm
you
coming
explained.
for you today, Buck. I'm hot.
It seems like everybody is. It seems like
Ooh, give it to me.
I listened to the, not to cross promote our other show.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I
Go
listened
for
to the Jurassic Park 6 episode today, and I got so fucking pissed off.
Oh,
Like,
people
It
are
was a
pissed at
tough
me.
one. It was
I
a tough
get
one.
angry. I got a boner. I got an anger boner.
Yeah.
I really had one of those where you're just so fucking angry.
That wasn't the situation I had. That wasn't my
I had an
experience this
anger
morning.
boner. Joe finally gave me a boner.
Trevor had flaccid rage.
Yeah, mine just went up inside me, and I got real angry.
Those are the 2 sides of the pole, and they're both rage. You either go one or the full on rage. I get it.
Yeah, it's fight or flight.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, Trevor had to tape his hard penis to his belly so as not to arouse suspicion.
You're not even
Jesus
listening.
I am listening.
During the filming of the episode, or during the recording of that episode, I had an anger prolapse so big
Okay.
that Joe couldn't even realize. I was sitting on one of those, like, those circle pillows.
Yeah, like on a bumblebee
I had
hive.
to sit on. Bumblebee hive.
Yeah. Like on your asshole looks like a bumblebee hive. It's awful, and it's like stinging.
Well, it's true.
It's stinging.
You know.
Joe Buckley, I bet if a scientist came in here and showed you a bumblebee, showed you a wasp, showed you a hornet, showed you a fucking owl, you probably couldn't tell which one was which.
They're all fucking spiders.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that the wasp is a very angry insect. And the bumblebee, it's majestic. It's like Chris Farley.
Bumblebee.
Yeah. A bumblebee is like Chris Farley, you know. He just kind of like it's big, just kind of float, like flying around.
Sure,
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't unfortunately fight him on that, but
Thank you.
Okay.
Speaking of majestic, let's go ahead and get into Dead Ant.
Yeah,
shall we?
So there's grievances all around that we can get into. Unfortunately, we have the two members of the failed supergroup Average Too Big on this episode.
That's all right.
Yeah, at least we had our one hit. We had the hit, and we can retire now.
It is. It's now on Time Life. If you want to hit hits of the 70s, Time Life. 17 records, $500. That will be part of the collection.
Yeah, there's a Kid Rock version of it. Fantastic.
Kid Rock did a cover. Kid Rock did a cover of our song.
Kid Bop, but like Kid Rock. I forgot that was a name of a person as well.
Jesus.
But I was going for Kid Bop.
Jesus.
Kids Bop. There's
That's a
multiple
Kid Rock.
kids.
Well, true. Yeah, there are a lot of boys on the recording.
God.
Boys Rock, it should be called.
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right. Zach, what can you tell us about Dead Ant?
Do we want to get into it, or do you want some information on it
No,
before
let's the fans said in the survey they want to know what the fuck we're talking about.
Okay, all right. So I'll give you the little log line here from IMDb. 2017 movie. It says, when the 1989 one-hit wonder glam metal band, kind of like Average to Big, one-hit wonders, Sonic Grave embarks on a trip to Coachella in hopes of a comeback, their peyote trip pit stop in Joshua Tree incites an unworldly, vicious attack, and they must rock themselves out of harm's way. That's not perfectly accurate because they are not headed to Coachella. We find out, and we'll talk about later, they're headed to Nochella.
It's like a festival with like maybe 30 people they had there that day.
Yeah,
And
they're a little young. They're a little young to have been a hair metal band in '89. That's one of my grievances with the movie. Small grievance, but
maybe the movie is set in 2010.
it's a period piece.
Maybe, although she does have the I mean, I don't know. I'm not a technological guru. Was iPhones a thing in 2010? Was that because the girl's got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Although she has a modern one, but yeah.
Yeah, the first one came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay,
iPad
right.
credit card scanner, it was around back then, but like nobody had them. It didn't seem like. That's a pretty recent thing.
For thousands of years, we've had these tiny plastic devices, but we never knew what to plug them into.
Yeah.
And then the iPad showed up one day, mysteriously. Also, the guy who plays Jack Sparrow, Pager, I think is his name.
Yeah,
the main
Pager,
guitar dude.
Yeah.
He, Ryan, he's the same age as you, so he would have been 10 in '89.
Yeah. Well, everybody, I actually looked it up. And I think the old, maybe I didn't look up Sean Astin's age, but I was just using the Goonies as at best, they would have all had to be as oldest at like 19. They would have had to hit their one-hit wonder band had been 19. One of them was 10. The guitar player was 10. Because what's his name? Who's in the movie? Gary Busey's son was 71. He was born in. But I honestly, I wish Gary Busey.
Same as Sean Astin.
Okay, so yeah, they all would have been like 19, and they're not unheard of. They could have got together at 19 and got lucky real fast and had a hit song. But
so I wanna jump into the Sean Astin pond here.
Man.
I have seen Sean Astin in a lot of garbage. Like going back since, probably the week after Return of the King came out.
Yeah.
And I like Sean Astin. I think, he's great in The Goonies, Rudy, Lord of the Rings, and most recently in Stranger Things. But like I saw this one, I don't know if it was behind the scenes documentary of Lord of the Rings or if it was some sort of interview, but he came across really badly, where he just sounded like he was a bit of an asshole during the time of the Lord of the Rings, thinking he was hot shit, and him being really upset that he didn't get like an Oscar nomination and all this stuff. And was he like blacklisted a little bit? Is he not fun to work with?
Well, you know what's funny? You bring that up because I don't know if you guys watched the video, but I sent you a video of Sean C. Phillips on the set of Dead Ant.
Oh.
And if you didn't watch a video, for those listening at home, Sean Astin talks about, or not Sean Astin, Sean C. Phillips, who comes across as the better Sean actor in this movie. He talks about how there are signs on trailers that say specifically how to knock. He doesn't go into detail. However, you do see behind him at one point Sean Astin's trailer, because you can see a piece of paper taped to it that says Sean Astin, and I couldn't make it out, but it says something about knocking. So at the very least, Sean Astin had a very specific way he wanted you to knock on his trailer.
Yeah, one very soft knock, 2 medium knocks, and then 1 hard knock.
He does talk about that. So I mean, that would that kind of attitude, or could absolutely support the idea that maybe he's a little big for his britches.
We're sponsored by Loomis today.
Yeah, sorry, I'm pulling up the
Dr. Loomis is here.
Yeah,
Dr. Loomis
is
is here.
No, I'm pulling up Sean C. Phillips video.
I think that when you go into Sean Astin's trailer, you do have to say, "Hey, I ain't dropping no eaves, sir," and then continue from there. Otherwise, he gets really pissed. If you're not referencing Lord of the Rings when you start talking to him, I think he gets pretty mad.
And that's the weird thing, is that it's one thing to be in a movie that you're getting paid. It's good. Hey, I bet it was fun on set. They're probably just goofing around.
Probably.
I mean, half of it looks like they just made it up.
But for Sean Astin to drop some Hobbit bits, I was like, where is this coming from, man?
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're better than this, but you were in that music video, Ascension Millennium, by Corey. His name's escaping me.
What?
From the Goonies.
What are you saying?
Feldman?
Feldman?
Oh.
Corey
Yeah.
Feldman, yes.
Yes.
And Sean
he showed
Astin did a Goonies cameo in Ascension Millennium. If you guys are not familiar with Ascension Millennium, you need to listen to it now. And it's a wonderful song with a wonderful music video. But I don't know. I get weird vibes from him. I love him as an actor. I love his performances. I don't know. There's something off about him.
That would be truly heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was a secret asshole. That would fucking suck ass. I don't want to hear about this.
He probably makes people
depends.
carry him everywhere like a pharaoh. Like he gets 3 PAs to carry him on their back.
Here's
I think
here's
that's
a
it.
little question for Joe, a little trivia. Do you know which Adam Sandler movie Sean Astin was in?
I know
No.
Wanted to see if you would get this one.
50 First
Dates? Yes, 50 First Dates.
Okay,
He's
okay.
the steroid-using brother.
I love
of,
my
Halle
Sandy. I love my Sandy, man.
And Joe, he was also in Cabin Fever 2, which Ty
I haven't
West.
seen part 2.
He was in 2 Adam
Or
Sandler
maybe
movies.
it's
I just
3.
remember
No,
he was
I'm
in
sorry.
Click.
It's in 3. I think it's a third one. It's not the second. It's
okay.
a third. Cabin
Yeah,
Fever.
I know Cabin
Patient
Fever
Zero
2
or
is
something
like
that.
it's real gross, but it got taken away from Ty West.
Yeah. But also, I will say, I've recently watched Sean Astin in Young Rock on NBC, the show. And he's funny in that. He's good in that. And maybe he's on his better behavior, but he's working on a production with The Rock. I'm sure his bullshit ain't gonna fly on that set.
Yeah, let me tell you, he
If he
smelled
does
what The
that.
Rock's cooking.
But he's good in it. So when he's good, he's great. He's charismatic. He's fun. When he's not, like in Dead Ant, or he's allowed to just make up his own bits or whatever he's doing, it's like, oof, I felt so bad the whole time with Sean Astin.
It straddles that line of his performance. I mean, the wig is outrageous that he's wearing.
Oh, God.
It's terrible.
And so it's like, I don't know. Is that the joke? The bass player of the band is a joke overall, but like, I don't know. It was borderline demeaning. this role.
It was embarrassing.
And
I was
so-
embarrassed for him.
Yeah, it felt like a role that was supposed to go to, I don't know,
Pauly
somebody.
Shore.
Yeah.
Or Carrot Top.
Yes, it's
Something,
Andy Dick, something like that.
That would have fitted
yeah.
perfectly. This is not Sean Astin's thing. And luckily for his career, right around this time, I believe he probably got his Stranger Things role. So
Ooh, that saved his butt.
And I don't think that this movie
Joe, it
impacted a
actually
whole lot of careers.
was a big deal because he was a great performance. It was very heart.
No, that's what I was saying. It saved
you
his
weren't.
butt.
You're being facetious.
No,
you
you were
dickhead.
being-
Oh yeah. Oh, Stranger Things, only the biggest show in the world right now. Yeah.
I wasn't even being sarcastic. I was saying it probably saved his career.
And you know I dislike the show, but I can't say that being on that show is a bad deal. Being on that show is a great deal.
Well,
It's
and
wonderful
speaking
if
of,
you're an
of
actor.
large, like big shows right now, Euphoria is one of the big shows that's out right now. And I haven't watched it, but I know Sydney Sweeney, who plays Sam in Dead Ant, 2 years later was in Euphoria, which is one of the biggest shows on right now.
Oh, okay.
Is she one of the lead actors?
Yeah, I believe
she's
so.
Yeah, she's Cassie. She's one of like the main, like honestly, like 2 or 3
Okay, good.
girls on that show. She's
Great
great.
for her.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Dead Ant reunion of Euphoria.
There isn't a Dead Ant reunion in Euphoria. There's one person in Euphoria. There's
okay,
one
there's both
person
of
in
them.
everything else.
I thought there
He's
was
not
both of them.
listening.
I'm sorry.
He's
I
not
didn't
listening.
comprehend.
Joe, we are gonna
Yeah,
beat
Tom
you
Tom
into a
Arnold
pulp
is
tonight.
dating Sydney Sweeney in in Euphoria.
Dude, Joe is a nerd, and we're gonna fucking smear him.
God.
We're
Please
stuffing
just
your
don't
ass
take
in
my
that locker,
glasses.
boy.
I'm going to give you a backwards wedgie right up the front until your nuts rupture.
Up the front butt.
Okay, again,
The
just
front
please
butt.
leave my glasses alone and please don't spit in my mouth. That's all I ask for
That's
my
fine.
bullies.
Those glasses are indestructible.
Other names in here, we got Tom Arnold in Dead Ant. We got Jake Busey in Dead Ant. Danny Woodburn.
Danny Woodburn.
Who
Yeah.
I recognize the most as the in the Watchmen. He's like the big wig mob boss in the prison.
Oh yeah, big
That's
figure.
my,
yeah?
and he was also in Jingle All the Way as Tony the Elf. So
Oh,
he's
okay.
great. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. For me, it's always Seinfeld. You know, it's right
Sure.
there. I know I've seen him in other stuff, but I'm like, hey, Seinfeld. And
Yeah.
because he also doesn't age. He looks
Right.
identical to what he did 25 years
Yeah.
ago in Seinfeld.
Hey,
The
Joe.
guy does not age.
Joe, do you
Yeah.
want to give a shout out to your favorite actor of the movie?
Yes, I would. Michael Horse, he's Hawk from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, the native dude. He's
No,
is he in
yeah,
is he in the
and it was
original
nice to see
show
him.
or is he just in season
Yes.
3?
No, he's in the original. Yeah, he's got a big role in the
Oh,
original.
no. He's OG, Trevor. He's OG.
Yeah.
I'm not as versed. I've only watched it
Okay,
once.
I understand. It's okay. I won't bash you for that. Yeah.
I won't talk on your
Oh,
pee-pee.
how nice of you. All right, let's get into the
What a
movie. So let's get into Dead Ant. All right. So we open up on the shirtless indigenous man. He's talking about how great peyote is for opening up the mind, right? And he's got this girl in front of him who is like every girl you'd see at Coachella, just turned into one person. And he's basically telling her that if she takes his peyote, she can explore every crevice of her mind. But he also tells her she may face some of her fiercest enemies. And while he's talking to her over this campfire, we're getting these flashes of her running, or well, we see someone running. We don't know who. We find out later it's her through the desert, being chased by a big ant. So we finally get to look at this big old bug. And I will say, I know I picked this movie. I'm disappointed we didn't get more practicals.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of CGI. I understand why, but
Well, overall, I did enjoy the movie. It has its faults outside of the visual effects. The visual effects of the ants being really shockingly bad when there's also some pretty decent, I mean, even good sometimes, comp shots, green screen, blue screen stuff. Of them where like the lighting is actually matched with the surrounding. I was shocked. Some of them are not great, but some are really good. But anyways, there are some shots where it's just one ant in a space, and I'm like, just give like $5,000 to the Nick Sports of wherever this was shot, and have them just make something. And if it doesn't work out, paint it out. Put something over it.
Also, it's a giant ant. Like you can't get one of those. There isn't like an effects house
A
somewhere.
warehouse?
Hey, you got a big bug? Yeah, we do. We got a bunch.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
buy
yeah,
like probably
man.
a screen used like ant from
Look
them.
at the guy,
Use
Empire
that.
of the Ants had big practical ants that had
Well-
at least the heads of the actor. And that was the 70s.
And I think a lot of these movies, because like I compare this to Lavalancha, because if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure I have a feeling you guys have not, but it's basically
No.
a police academy reunion, you know? And
Oh, that's
and
right.
so
yeah,
a
'cause-
lot of the times they cast a lot of actors that I'm sure uses up most of their budget. And then they just kind of phone in the effects for these big creatures. Because Lavalantula, same way. All the tarantulas are fake. It's very, very similar to this. And I assume that they ran through their budget pretty quick here. Sean Astin probably getting more than his screen time deserved. Love the guy, but so I'm guessing that's why we get so many digital bugs. But I have here as our peyote man is chatting. This is the first time we see our giant bug, and our bite-sized man, Daddy Woodburn, pops up from behind him to accept the payment. Then she takes her peyote, and she starts to have a little bit of a seizure. We cut to her in the desert being chased by this giant fucking bug, where she, in desperation, I assume, starts to strip her clothes off and throw them at the bug.
That's a good plan, lady.
Well, it's better than no plan, I guess.
Sure.
First her bra comes off, followed by her pants, followed by everything. Like she is literally, it's you would think you'd lose speed taking off the underwear and the pants, that it wouldn't be worth it.
No, Zach, it makes you faster.
Oh, that's
She tore them off. The peyote made her super strong, so she just ripped them off.
I gotta say,
that's probably fair.
this opening concerned me immensely.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was not super psyched after seeing. I mean, it's like, okay, all right,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah. I mean, and like I don't have like an outright issue with gratuitous nudity, but like I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Why do? And it's like, I'm not, hey, look, guys, I like a nice pair of mm-ms, but I'm here for those fucking antennae, them exoskeletons and thoraxes and shit. Give me that.
Yeah, I came to this as hungry as Nick Swartz is when he's starting up one of these pictures.
Absolutely.
And this lovely young lady stripping down was the last thing I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like,
And
ma'am,
this
please
feel-
put your clothes back on. We have bugs to see.
There are children here, ma'am.
Get those boobs out of here. These are not the B words we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's bugs and
About
bites.
a nice pair of big old bugs. Hey,
Yeah, show your buggos, lady.
let me see the anthill.
Jesus, Joe.
So we see her right. She throws her headband and then finally falls over. This is when we get to see the big old mandibles of our big CGI ant chomp down, and boom, we get our title card for Dead Ant. Right?
Oh, I was gonna mention she's in like 170 like zero budget horror movies. It's actually a
that-
cameo. She's kind of famous in the scene.
She's like a Sean C. Phillips type.
Kinda, yeah.
I can believe it.
Oh, okay.
I had no
I
idea.
didn't recognize her.
Well,
but that's
Joe, does
not
she have,
usually-
like one great movie in her credit or
No,
something?
I looked at her IMDb and her like notable films are not notable.
Why'd
God,
you look
no.
up her IMDb specifically?
Oh, of course.
Just
I'm just
because
curious.
You know.
In the
You
trivia
know.
section, it said
any more films?
in the trivia section it says B movie horror queen Courtney Palm, and so I wanted to see what she was in.
She was in Zombievers. I
Yeah.
recognize that. Okay.
Oh, you've seen that beaver before.
Y'all,
I've seen her
boys,
nude, yeah.
boys, red
Yeah,
alert, red
what?
alert. She
What
is
up?
in The Haunting at Foster Cabin.
Oh,
A movie
she
done on
is.
this show.
Wait.
She is- I
Which
didn't
girl was
recognize
she?
her at all.
Is she the boobo lady in Foster
She the
Cabin?
Boobo lady. Hold
And
on,
I've watched
hold on.
that. I've watched some of that a couple of
Haunting.
times.
God, what's the other title for this fucking movie?
Oh, there was a million of
Demon,
them.
'Cause I
demon
think-
something.
Demon hot tub or something. You know,
Demon House.
Demon House. The
No,
Maybe I don't
that
know.
was that.
Haunting? No.
Wasn't Demon? No, Demon House was Zach Bagans.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, how could you forget?
There's we can talk about this off recording, but I'd love to create start doing some sort of Malevolent Movies Hall of Fame for some of these guys who keep popping up.
Oh,
yeah.
Sean C. Phillips, these guys that just keep
Oh,
popping
yeah.
up. They, and maybe we,
Oh, I agree.
they the Hall of Fame. These guys or directors or whoever, they just keep organically popping up in all of our stuff. It's like
we can unsolicitedly send them like medals.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Sean C. Phillips. I mean, we can get him. We can probably get him on the horn, but
yeah.
Yeah.
some of these other guys, some of these directors and writers, there's been more crossover than I think we probably realize.
Yeah. Courtney Palm plays Demon Dana. So she is not one of the regular girls, but she is like a body double for Michelle Nunez,
Okay.
who plays
I
Dana.
wonder if that was a girl in the shower when that.
Nah,
Oh, yeah. I like it when
we're
she
talking
scrubs
like
her
episode
boobs in the
2
river.
of this show. And that, like the real episode 2, like back in the video days. Like, it's been a
2018. Yeah.
while. Yeah.
So she bites the dust. She dies.
Yeah,
She's
she
out of the movie. So she actually got more time here on the episode of us talking about her than she gets in the movie.
That's true.
So
You're
we get the
welcome.
title card, says Dead Ant. We get some rock music and a glimpse of the main cast driving a Ford pickup, pulling an Airstream RV. We get look at who I call them Samwise Gangrene, which is we find later our bass player for the band. He's got this horrible Howard Stern wig and a sucks to suck hat on and sunglasses. Honestly, might have been. I think they might have Weekend at Bernie's him. I don't even know if he's awake for this.
He was drunk. He's
Yeah.
drunk this whole movie.
We get Sean Astin, he's riding in the passenger seat for it. We find later she's the drummer, right, of the band.
Yeah, Stevie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stevie.
Yep. It's a
There's-
4-piece
And
band.
she was on the L Word back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So we've got them driving. We also get a look in the Airstream. The band is hard at work. We got Tom Arnold, who's their like promoter, the promoter, right?
He's our
Manager.
Yeah, he's our manager.
Manager,
Yeah.
And he's holding a camera. Jake Busey's doing his best Axl Rose impression to serenade Love, his blonde cohort. And the band struggles with their identity briefly. We also have... Yeah, I couldn't think of a word.
Listen, I'm laughing.
And we got
Girlfriend
Pager.
groupie.
Yeah, well, yeah. We got
Business
Pager
partner.
also there. They're struggling with their identity because Pager doesn't want to do ballads anymore, all that jazz. He wants a new direction for the band. They also pass a Buckley Bites sign that says fresh beef
You
jerky.
know what? I was going to say that. I was going to say it when I was watching it. I was
No,
going to be
it's
like,
not
Buckley Bites
legit.
joke. Buckley Bites joke. That's all. That's hilarious.
There's a dead cow in the film and it says beef jerky. That's not my cousin's business.
the same damn thing. That's funny. It's that group brain now at this point.
Yep, we're all one now. It's a hive mind.
So Joe did watch this movie then.
Yeah.
I did watch it. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
He
I don't
clocked
skip
it.
on my
Well, good. I
assignments.
You know, it's endearing whenever there's like a bit like that isn't explicitly something you have to watch. It's nice.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
think I mostly just listen to the films.
Well, we
Yeah.
just assume
Nah,
that
I
you just
think
watch
go,
your
all right,
section.
what am I at? All right, I gotta go.
You're too busy mashing it.
1450 to 2516.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it and let's see what happens.
He's too busy banging his flaccid wiener in between his keyboard and his desk.
God,
Inland Empire.
looking for
Yeah.
a blown out
It was
flashlight.
very good. What's wrong with that? I enjoy
His
it. Next, I'm
flashlight's so
going to
fucked up now. He doesn't know if it's inside out or not.
in my next viewing, I'm going to watch the 4-hour cut of Inland Empire with the deleted scenes put back in.
Good for you. So
Thank you.
we keep on moving, and Sean Astin's doing his best impression of my brother because he says something about Indians, and he's corrected, and he's like, well, maybe the white man should be offended when they're called cowboys, because this shit's woke. This movie, it's woke, at least on the usage of that.
I'm so confused because there is a lot hinging itself upon the trope of Native American,
Indigenous
They're
people, all
ancient
that.
land.
Well,
Like
yeah,
what-
yeah,
yeah,
mystic
yeah.
lands and all that stuff. And, Michael Horse is in it, and he is a
Mhm.
Native American. And I don't want to say that he doesn't know better for himself, but it's just, I felt like, is it because you're using anything Native American lore-ish or movie trope-ish, you have to comment on it, and that makes you feel better about doing it?
Ding,
Or-
ding, 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 ding.
Okay,
I
thank
also
you.
think that it's the writer's way of saying basically like we can say anything because we we could say what we want later on in the movie because we've just acknowledged that we
Yeah.
know the difference. You know what I mean? So like,
Exactly. And, like,
they
listen,
can get away
guys,
with it.
We got Michael Horse. He's a native actor.
Yeah.
Respected. Been in
Yep.
the game for years. He's not like desperate to get a role. You
Yeah.
know?
No.
Joe.
And he's,
No, he's
Oh,
not.
he's up to his
Fuck off,
tits and
Joe.
rolls.
I
Joe's
looked
over
him
here.
up. I
just
looked him
last
up. He's
week.
in like 100 things.
That doesn't mean he's making money.
He was in Dead Ant, Joe.
How much have you been paid for your fucking
Well,
five
Jake
appearances?
Busey was in Dead Ant. He was in Starship Troopers, and now he's in Dead
Exactly.
Ant.
You know what else
Exactly.
Jake Busey was in, Joe?
Huh?
You want to know what else Jake Busey was in?
What?
Stranger Things. Successful actor.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I don't
Starship
watch Stranger
Troopers.
Things. I don't know who
I like
successful
Jake
actors.
Busey.
I don't know.
I rather it would have been Gary Busey though in the exact
Oh,
same role,
God,
but
if
in
only.
the same outfit. I would have loved
You know,
that.
he was in the fourth Sharknado, Mr. Gary Busey.
Oh, I'm sure.
He plays
I'm
April's
sure.
father, who built her back into a cyborg.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
He was in Ginger
Dude,
Dead
what?
Man, and
I love Gary Busey, and when he showed up in Sharknado, it was one of the best days of my life.
That's when Zach proposed.
Yeah?
Yeah, I turned around, I said, "Life's not getting better than this." So
She's part daughter, part cyborg, part shark.
pretty much. So, we cut back to the RV that's being pulled, or I guess it's not an RV, but whatever, trailer. And the band decides they're gonna hit up Coachella, baby, right? But no, Tom Arnold's like, I couldn't get us into Coachella. We're going to what everyone's watching, all the underground scene. Everyone's into Nochella. There was a big gag that I think may have been how
Where's
they started.
Coachella?
They showed up. Oops, Nochella.
Yeah.
I feel like this joke is how they decided to do a whole movie. Someone one day said, "What if we went to Nochella?" And they're like, "Quick, put a movie around that. And then they did.
Well, so the joke did stand out to me. I just felt like, why? That's not even a dad joke. That's a grandpa joke.
Well, yeah.
It just seems so bizarre. But the thing that made me laugh about it is that Tom Arnold says it so earnestly. It was Nochella. I couldn't get you guys into Coachella. I got you into Nochella.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just loved Tom Arnold in this.
That's
whole
the place to
movie.
be. You see, Coachella is like Sundance, and nobody goes to Sundance. Everybody's at
Tom
Slam Dance
Arnold.
now. That's where the real,
Tom Arnold has a lot of experience in his career being on the other side of that, hearing the disappointing news. Well, no, I didn't get you into Terminator 4. I got you into Terminator 9. So he's totally used to, he's down with that.
Yeah.
We couldn't get you into Ant-Man. We did get you into Dead Ant. So we got you covered. So,
Poor
Yeah,
Tom.
and you're going to have to sign some autographs at the Joliet Mall. I'm sorry to let you know, but I signed you that up for that for 7 hours.
yeah. Sorry, Mr. Arnold. They went with Lawrence Fishburne for the Goliath role this time. Sorry.
Oh man, that's cool. Oh man, oh shit.
Oh no, it's fine, man. Hey, there'll be another one, right? Right. Hey, what are they gonna do? Cast Bill Murray in the role instead?
Come on, True Lies 2, True Lies 2, True Lies 2.
Yeah. Arnie, you got any more True Lies there, Arnie? Come on.
He's calling Jim every weekend.
Yeah, it's like, so I could be a funny
there's no
Navi.
funny
I could
Navi.
be a
Come on.
Navi.
There's no fat funny Navies on Avatar Land. Come on, huh?
You don't even have to write my lines. I'll write them for you.
Yeah.
we move back up front again. This whole section of mine is just cutting back and forth between the people in the front and the people in the back.
Oh,
We
it's
cut back front
nonsense.
to Samwise.
It's every
Yeah.
Malevolent movie.
Right. It's just setting up the premise. So up front, we get back to Samwise Gangrene, and the truck starts hitting some bumps and they're noticing the roads got a lot of bumps. So Samwise starts theorizing there were asteroids, or the space station or something. We obviously, the keen viewers who are aware that there are anthills, that would be probably why the road is so bumpy. And I believe that is the end of my first segment.
Yeah. So Danny, the band manager, is harshing everybody's vibe by suggesting they do a little more work and a little less lollygagging as they pull over to pick up drugs. Bigfoot and Firecracker are sitting in front of their organic fruit stand, but avocados are the last thing on the band's mind. Bigfoot.
All right,
Joe's
everybody,
writing a
sit around.
novelization.
It's story time.
Fucking Joe Shallot is here.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
and we should probably Firecracker. Who these guys are? That's
Oh, the
we don't say their names. Who these guys are?
It's Michael Horse and
Yes, it's- yeah.
Danny.
and he's the
Woodburn.
Native American guy who's selling the drugs, and he's got his partner there.
What's his shop called, Joe?
Firecracker.
The shot?
The shop.
Oh, shot. I forget. I don't know.
It's called Big Fruit. That's funny.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I thought it was
Okay.
funny.
Because
Bigfoot's
because
Big
his
Fruit.
name's Bigfoot.
Yeah. So it's kind of branding. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, Bigfoot owns Big Fruit.
Nice. Okay. So,
And he gets home,
Bigfoot.
and he goes to his big home and his big car.
Yeah. He's got big jeans on.
Yeah, he sleeps in a big old bed.
Well, now you mention it later on, Firecracker gets called Big Man.
shit.
So I don't know.
Them's fighting words.
Everything's big.
So Bigfoot tells them that he's out of the sun, but he can sell them the moon instead. He tells Art to not step on the CGI ants. I guess it was too hard to scoop some out of the dirt and film them. It's really weird.
You ever
'cause,
tried to find an anthill, Joe?
you just look down.
Well, they're not just all over the place. I mean,
maybe in your
They
bedroom
got
they
you
are.
there.
yeah, I mean, but like, if you told me to go outside and film some ants, like I'd have to find an anthill. It's going to take some time, and you have to hope they're active at the time, Joe. What if they're all just chilling underground?
Just go stomping around. They'll come out.
Put some beef jerky, around, and they'll come out for the
beef jerky,
jerky.
yeah.
Yeah,
waft
Buckley
it.
bites, America's #1 ant food.
They'll come
Yeah, just
floating
drop
out like they smelled a pie.
Drop a pair of Judeline's panties on the ground. You'll get,
Oh God,
you'll get ants, you'll
it'll
get scorpions, you'll
shrivel
get
up and the
flesh
green
beetles.
mist will come out.
fucking vulture come down thinking it's carrion.
So as the band waits around chewing on the fruit without buying it, Pager leers at some young-looking girls. He asks them if they're going to the concert, and when he says he's playing it, they recognize him. She says that he took her mom backstage and got her pregnant, and it's finally nice to meet Daddy.
Very good.
Yeah, she says she's only kidding, though, so Pager still has a chance to get his guitar strummed, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't, Joe.
Yeah, explain.
That the lady might play on his cock, like it's a guitar.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Joe was trying to write some rock and roll.
It's better than what he's done
puns.
before.
Yeah, he's trying.
Shut up, Ryan. Bust his balls.
Yeah.
I will be.
Boo this man. I believe
I'm
Nick
all
would
right
say.
because Joey,
Joey.
I love you, Joey.
He's selling the sun and the moon. You didn't tell that's drugs.
Well, no,
That's
I mentioned the
It's
drugs at the
euphemism for
beginning. I said
drugs.
they're looking for drugs.
Hey,
They pull
y'all.
over
I
to
know,
look over
but
drugs.
the sun is a kind of drug and the moon is a kind of drug.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought the audience would be able to
And
understand. I'm
it has to
sorry.
do
I
with the
guess they
lore of the
don't.
movie. It has to
This
do
is
with
also
the
where
titles.
the credit card swiper thing comes into play because it's $200 for the sun, and Stevie only has like 80 something. So Sean Astin has to foot the bill, and he ends up with $210 because there's a $10 service charge.
Disgusting.
Oh, and then
Didn't leave a
Firecracker.
tip, though.
Yeah, points that he didn't tip.
Why would you? Why would you tip
This
them?
tipping
I mean,
culture
what
is
they- what they do.
outrageous. That
What
they want
do.
the tip now. Yeah.
Oh, don't even fucking start.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, I'm watching this movie back right now, and I just noticed that Sean Astin's wearing a shirt for his own band. He's wearing a Sonic Grave shirt.
Oh, hell yeah. I love it.
Sonic Grave.
Oh,
As
and
you should.
yeah.
That's
While
great.
Pager's talking to the gals, Danny waltzes over and kills the vibe by mentioning he's not allowed near school.
Oh,
Yeah, they really
Yes,
go in hard on that goof.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
Tom Arnold just coming in, just doing whatever he wants. He's just if you saw him on Roseanne when he played Arnie and he was all like, hey, blah, 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 running his mouth.
He's doing
14
that
miles.
again.
He's same shtick.
Yeah.
Although his Roseanne's not there to beat his ass this time, so he can't. He's just do free reign. You get if you love Tom Arnold, you're gonna love Dead Ants.
Are there people who
'Cause
love
it's-
Tom Arnold?
There's got to be because he keeps
Oh,
getting fucking
surely.
hired.
Fair.
TV stations.
The Tom Arnold
yeah.
fan club.
I was just
I
saying,
like
like,
him in this.
I don't hate Tom Arnold, but I don't know that I could consider myself a Tom Arnold lover, a Tom Arnold fan.
I'm not going to
you
go
know?
see a movie because Tom Arnold's in
Yeah,
it, but I
that's
might
fair.
enjoy it a little bit more.
That's
If
fair.
he pops up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, Tom Arnold. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, though they pay the $200 for the peyote. He says it's the most powerful peyote they'll ever find, and they need to take it right at sundown. He says if they hurt anything on native land while dosing, the consequences will be severe. Art accidentally calls him chief and leaves.
Well, it's specifically during the time of the high, and then if they break that, it's what is it, the next 24 hours or something?
Yeah, until
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
next
until
sundown.
sundown again. Which okay, so I don't have a lot of sympathy for Bigfoot because if he really gave a shit about his land and about the respect, he wouldn't be selling drugs to these people who are of course are going to step on a bug at some point.
Yeah.
They're in the desert. The shit's everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, what does he expect?
Maybe it was the intentional disrespect of the Pipe.
You know?
Oh yeah. And they
That could
throw the beer cans on the ground.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not why the fucking ants come around.
Okay.
It's because he pisses on the ant, but which we'll get to here in a minute.
Well, that's my section. I'm done.
Ants gotta eat too.
Great work, Pissant.
That really shouldn't be my nickname.
Well,
It really should
It's
always
sticking.
be your fucking nickname.
Yeah.
Piss ant, shit ant,
Mm,
dead ant.
dead
No.
ant.
good
in your mouth.
podcaster.
Yeah. When's he coming? So Tom, we cut back outside and Tom Arnold is stealing tomatoes while I call Pager is his name, right? The Jack
Yes.
Sparrow
Yeah,
guy?
Pager.
I called
Yep,
him
yep,
Vest
yep.
Shirt later on. Or
That's a good name.
Vesty, because I couldn't remember his name. But Pager is talking up the bikini gals, Sydney Sweeney and her friend. I didn't get either one of their names in this movie.
No, I
Sam,
didn't either.
I think was one of their names.
Sam and Lisa. Sam and Lisa.
Sam and Lisa. Yes, Sam is Sydney Sweeney. Lisa is her friend. So yeah, he's talking them up, and Tom Arnold slides in and fucks up his whole game yet again. Art and Stevie are back with the goods, and they all hit the road. We get a little bit of them just hanging out on the road, get the band playing, Love is dancing, and we go back up to the car, and our Art is looking at the peyote, opens it up, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder how much I should do." He just chomps down a nugget, and Stevie gets pissed. He just said we had to wait until sundown. We got to take it at the rocks. But Samwise says he'll be fine. I'm from the Shire, but I never dance with the sun. So he's laying out Shire bits.
Oh God!
It was
that was the nail in the coffin already. 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I was like,
that joke. I was like, I'm done.
Sean.
I'm done, guys.
Don't
You know
do
what?
that.
I'll say it. I liked it.
Oh no!
I didn't mind
was-
it. It's of course it's stupid, but like I loved it because it's like it strikes me as something that this stupid idiot would say. But
Yeah.
like I mean, because they're always all the fucking hobbits smoke. What do you think's in those pipes?
Yeah.
You think they're
They're
not
smoking
constantly
weed?
getting high?
Yeah, what's old Toby? He's
Yeah.
a long bottom leaf. That's what Joe
Yeah.
has.
I did
Smoking
not
a
mind
big-
it.
About.
I
big
didn't like
fat
it
hobbit
as
spliff.
Shut up.
I didn't like it. Not because of the movie. It's because I was like, Sean Astin, come on, man. I think Sean.
I mean,
that's
it's fair, but I loved it.
That's his only thing that anyone. That and Goonies are what we're going to be talking about when he dies,
Right.
barring some other amazing thing.
And Dead
for him
Ant.
to just be like,
And the jocks have Goonies. The nerds have have Lord of the Rings, and Nick has Dead Ant.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean,
the
there's
Goonies
a-
have Dead Ant.
There's a line.
There you
There's
go.
a line later on in the movie where he's like, "Pager, I can't carry the dead ant, but I can carry you."
Jeez.
the one fucking joke Joe always
That-
makes when it's Lord of the
that
Rings.
was
It's
good.
always that one.
Yeah.
And then this time I laughed at it.
Okay, thank you.
Those are the stories that
You
matter,
coulda-
Mr. Buckley.
Yeah.
The legend. Tell me
roast
again about
chicken.
the legend of Tom Arnold, the no-handed. We got Zachy Two Hands bringing in Tommy No Hands in this picture.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he was
See?
the very bravest of all. He was.
Yeah.
Dead Ant provided for us. This is
Oh,
good.
Christ.
See,
Oh, God,
we all
I'm
like
the
the
one-
good Lord of the Rings jokes.
I forgot that I'm so sad Nick's not here. We're talking bugs. We're talking Lord of the Rings. Nick is nowhere to be seen.
He'd be
Mr.
so
I work
happy.
on an HBO
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. He's getting too big for us, boys.
That's fine. He's always been too big for us.
That's
He's
good.
all
He
right.
needs to go back to Cinemax shows.
Skinamax shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Light their
Go back
butts
to
again.
those pussy shows.
The
Those pussy wetting shows.
Yeah. No, hey, Nick, you working on one of those little shows?
Oh, Jesus.
Joe always has to just go that one extra notch.
So
doesn't he?
anyway, no more of that. They finally arrive at the special rocks at Joshua Tree, and Art says he's not feeling anything, but he literally falls over backwards as he says that, which I liked. That was fun. Also, the rocks have been covered in graffiti, even though we're supposed to respect them. There's also a sign that reads, I think it said, "Respect nature and it will respect you back," or something like that. Vest shirt pager immediately litters after reading it. Also, all the beer cans aren't fake beer cans. They are drinking Bud Light and Keystone Light. And
Yeah.
Is this-
they were there?
is this like a movie that's just big enough that they cleared that, you think?
Oh, probably. I mean, yeah. This movie. I mean, it's definitely. If you can see from the Sean C. Phillips video alone that they were shooting in the same
That's true.
location that American Sniper shot in, amongst others. So I mean, they rented that location. They've got the trailers set up all over the place. They
Yeah.
got food spread. I mean, it was a fairly professional movie.
That's true.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm
if
just
they,
so used to nothing movies on this show.
Yeah.
Even with like real people in them.
My understanding is that you can use any product you want.
Yeah.
It's generally that you want to get paid to do it.
I gotcha.
Unless it's like, in Pulp Fiction, Ving Rhames got his ass fucked by an iPhone getting jammed up there. Then,
Well, that yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Well,
you're
they are
using
very specific with some, like the iPhone thing. There was a thing, I don't know if it still exists, where like a villain can't use an iPhone.
Yeah.
And like, I think that you
Oh,
couldn't
really?
like take a big chug of that Bud Light and go, "Oh, this tastes like piss water. It's awful beer." Like,
Yeah.
you
they
couldn't
don't,
say
they
that.
never they never comment on it. They
Yeah.
don't do they're just drinking it and it's there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Like you can use any product in a film as long as it's being used for its standard purpose. That's like the ruling
guess what
on
I'm
it.
going to be using in my next movie? Buckley Bites.
That's
Hey.
right. For their standard
Good.
purpose.
Now we
of,
can save money on the dog food. We're doing a Turner and Hooch reboot, right?
toilet paper. Yeah, Joe's the dog.
Yeah.
a third one.
So they're there. They're littering. They're getting set up like it's the fucking Book of Shadows movie. Art walks over, clearly higher than anyone has ever been. He's stumbling around like an idiot. Stevie corrals him away while Tom Arnold tries to get a signal on his phone. He's like jumping up in the air. Stevie tries to get Art to snap out of it, but he says that she has a third eye, and then we see the third eye, and she's got it for a little bit of the scene. That was fun.
And it has loud, like, wet winking sounds.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
it was disgusting.
Oh,
Kind of like when Joe's third eye opens up.
Kind of like at the end of that, the last
opens up
6
real
to
wide.
8 bars of the Demon Story song. When he's playing that light, playing that squishy light.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was
Joe,
gross.
I want to give you a purple nurple so bad.
Well, you're not going to.
I just want to smack him in the back of the head.
I was gonna say I just want to hit him with a knuckle.
Like, not even like super hard, just like a,
No,
you know,
I can hold him down if you guys really want to let out some of this anger.
dude, I know. He's not going
Oh,
anywhere
no.
between
I'm
them big old
strong.
arms. You kidding me? You ain't stronger than Zach.
awful waffle. We need to give him a good old awful waffle.
No, I've got a knife on me.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a fucking knife on you.
Oh yeah.
So Samwise eventually gets in the truck and goes to take a nap. Tom Arnold and Pager attempt to set up a tent, but Pager starts using the support poles as nunchucks. Then Tom Arnold tells a story about the last time they went camping. He says, so we're out partying. Oh yeah, remember we were out partying those fans. We wore those white hats with the big that we put on the linen things. And we remember we burned the cross, and we wanted to put it in our video, but the record label said that that'll ruin your careers and your lives. Yeah, that was crazy. Later we found out that it was a KKK convention, but still our fan base.
So were lines like that improvised by
I think a lot
Tom?
of them were.
That feels
Seems like it.
just. Hey Tom, you got something?
There was another one.
Because the other actors have nothing to give him, so they're just kind of standing there. You can tell there's some awkward moments.
Yeah.
In the back of the truck with him and Jake Busey, you can tell he's just Jake Busey doesn't even fucking care at that point. You can see by his face. He's
There's
just
like a line later on, like the we can get a different bass player one. I feel like a lot of that was just like, all right, talk about getting a new bass player, and we'll just stop recording eventually.
Yeah.
And that one felt like a lot of it feels improvised, especially from Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they had a bunch of lines
Yeah.
and just do one of these.
It reminds me a lot of when we were filming Butch at the Baker's, quite
Yes.
frankly.
Oh yeah.
And we'd have 12 different takes where the line Tyler had written on the paper didn't make it to the movie.
Yeah, we never even shot that one.
I actually pulled up the script today, coincidentally. I was going to read through it.
Is it anything like the movie?
Well, I didn't do it yet because I got tied up doing stuff, but I'm going to do it tonight. Because, there's scenes that I remember that we didn't film. There was some complications, leading up to the shoot. So I really wanted to do it for that reason. But now I don't even know what you guys are talking about other than Joe's monologue.
I remember it mainly, and this is a little inside baseball, can be its own episode maybe. But I remember a lot of the stuff at the cabin of just being like, I don't know, just say different things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We were just going through like, say something. Okay, now you say something. Now you say something, just to see if anybody had
Anybody got any juice?
Yeah, is anybody not
got
as
any
tired
juice
as the
left
rest
in
of
the
us? Is
Yeah.
anybody capable of being funny right now?
And unfortunately, Tom Arnold was not available.
No.
No.
We probably could have
probably
got him for a
was.
little
The
bit of coke.
Yeah.
I was going to say the cocaine budget and the alimony budget. He's on wife 4 or 5 at this point. I think that would have.
Yeah, he might be out of our tax
went to one of
bracket.
his wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know
pressure.
how anybody gets married twice.
Oh, you just go to the courthouse.
Joe, do
Yeah,
you
you
know
just
how
I
to get
find-
married
understand the
once?
legal process. I
Well,
just don't know why they would.
Another person has to like you a lot.
Joe's like, I don't even get how you could get someone else to like you. What, help, boys. I need your help so bad.
Listen,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what we've been. This is the whole point. This is the end game of this.
Uh-huh.
It's fine- it's a
What
fine
do
Joe
I do?
mate.
Do I show her my Plex server?
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's another. I'm done with my section, by the way. So I do not have the reins.
Okay.
I got it now.
Okay.
Take us
boy,
away.
Oh boy, a dead ant. All right. Sean Astin, Art, he goes wandering off. He's messed up. The drugs are really affecting him. He leans up against a tree, puts his hand up on the trunk of the tree. All of a sudden, an ant on his hand bites him. He, of course, throws the ant to the ground. But then he goes 1 mile farther. He decides, I got to relieve my bladder. I got to take a pee-pee. I'm going to pee on this fucking ant. And he does. He pisses right on the ant. So for being as drug-addled as he is at that moment, his aim is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
And the ant also doesn't try to run away. So
He
he
loves it.
continuously he just makes a he makes a big pee
Can't get enough.
pee puddle on the ant. But in that moment though, we get a flashback to Michael Horse saying, "If you hurt as much as one fly, you'll be cursed until the next sundown."
Bum, bum, bum.
And then we get a bit that's never repeated again. I wish it would have been. I wish the drugs would have done this constantly, but the ant talks.
Yes.
The ant speaks to Sean Astin. He says, "You just fucked up. I'm going to make it rain blood.
Yeah.
Your lack of respect for yourself and others will be your demise." And then he attacks Sean Astin.
I believe the whole movie is a drug trip once they take the peyote, because the movie doesn't really make sense if you look at it logically. So I think the whole
if this
thing's like a
weird movie
mushroom
about giant
hallucinogen.
bugs is not logical.
Yeah, Butcher the
Yeah.
Bakers was super logical. Having Joe star in something, that's logical.
No, it was logical. That people got some laughs out of it.
Those must have been special cookies they were selling at the movie.
So what's not logical about it? Is it the giant ants or the?
Oh well,
What
it
is
was a couple different things. I mean, I don't want to spoil the film. It's mainly the big thing at the
please.
ending is
Yeah,
that
The director did
they're
that.
able to play music and they blow up the ants' heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just I mean, that was just silly though. I mean, it's silly. This movie's silly.
No,
Joe.
no
It's-
room
that's
for
the
that.
best way
Give me
to put it.
logical.
I mean,
Give me
yeah.
logical with these
It's-
big ants that are here
Yeah.
because of a curse because of peyote. Give me
Yeah,
logic.
Joe's a very logical guy. That's why he likes winch
Yeah.
flicks.
Yeah.
He
I
likes.
was gonna say, Joe, this is dream logic. This is dream logic.
Kubrick's got a lot of straight up logic in his movies. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. One word to describe The Shining is logical.
logical.
Remember that old lady in the
Straight down
bathtub?
midget. Yeah.
My finger
Logical.
talks.
Yeah.
My finger talks.
Sometimes boys do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
talking logically.
Yeah. The best way to whatever. I'm not going to go down that. I've done it. It's on the channel. You can listen to it.
Maryland.
Very good.
The ant attacks Sean Astin. The band is annoyed that Art wandered off because they want to, the idea was they're going to do these drugs and they're going to sit in a circle and they're going to write a great song. They're going to write a great song. This is, part of the thing. And the fact that Art had wandered off, they're like, fucking asshole, disrespectful. So they just began to go ahead and eat the drugs. Pager eats the majority of the drugs, leaving Danny with nothing. This pisses off Danny very much, and that was also improvised because they promised Tom Arnold drugs. I don't think he even knew the camera was rolling. They promised him drugs. So we did the fucking movie. The cut to Art. He's comatose. He's laying in the ground, and he's covered in ants that are much larger. The other ants had all been small, except for the big ant at the very beginning. But now the ants are a little bit bigger. I wonder why. We'll probably find out. The drugs begin to take hold, and the gang, Love gives this silly speech, "We are one," blah, 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 and everybody's kind of just tripping out. You've seen this before. All of a sudden, it's nighttime, and we see Art's body, but now he's bloody. His skin is like it's missing. He's decrepit and disgusting and bloody. And
He's been chewed.
yeah, it's like they've been eating on him, but he's twitching a little bit. Is he still alive? Is he being taken over by the ants? Is it like in the nest? We'll find out. At one point, Stevie, one of her weird monologues, she says, "Metal is like a war for people who can hear the whisper." That kind of shit. And then Pager begins to write a song. And here's the lyrics to the song Pager writes, this big hit that's going to
Sing
make
it,
this.
Ryan. Sing it.
Yeah.
I don't write. I don't have the melody, but I will sing something
Excellent.
with it. It was a hot summer's night, something sweating all over.
He's just doing the
She
fucking
went to-
melody from your fucking song.
That's all I got. I'm not a musician.
All right, it's something.
She went to the fridge for a cherry cola. Hey, girl, I want to get to know ya and maybe even see your areola from your side boob.
What a song.
Talking fucking side boob.
What a song that could have turned out to be.
Yeah, and that's the end of my first section.
As Pager finishes his acoustic booby song, a car pulls up. It puts everyone off, and Pager starts shouting. And again, there's a couple times where Pager, whoever the actor is, I don't remember his name, but he he goes a little goofy, and I like it.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of playing this character straight, like he's, this older rocker guy. He's trying to hang on to what little fame and shit he's got. But like, this car pulls up, and he's holding his guitar, and he just starts shouting, "State your name, state your purpose, state your name, state your purpose." And it just made me laugh, because who the fuck would say that? It's just such a bizarre thing to say. But anyways, it's Lisa and Sam, the two college-age festival babes that we saw back at the peyote shop. Lisa's talking on her phone with someone. She's just keeps talking about how she's like, "I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's some Indian reservation." Then off camera, it sounded like ADR, but she's complaining about spending $20 on shampoo. So I don't know what the connection was there. It was weird. But Pager walks up to Sam, and again, another great line to deliver. He walks up to her, wraps his arm around her. He turns back to his bandmates and he says, "It's cool. I know them." There's just something awkward about it. But anyways, Tom Arnold has had enough. He's starting to get real short. They didn't give him any drugs. He's fired up. He starts confiscating phones. And Sam puts up a little bit of a fight. She's basically, "Hey, dude, you take this phone, you do anything fucking creepy with it, we're going to have problems." And he says to her, "Don't flatter yourself, baby. I've had plenty of ice cream running down this arm." Is that a Coke or a cum thing?
I don't get it.
I think that's a
I don't
squirt
get it.
thing.
Oh God! What is the line? What does he say?
But why would he say ice cream?
Yeah, that's
I've had
what I
plenty
don't
of ice cream running down this
The
arm.
fact that
Yeah,
Joe
I don't
jumped on
know.
that squirt,
I don't
it's
know.
squirting, guys.
It's squirt.
Hey, you guys know what squirting is? I know what squirting is.
No. It's like runny ice cream.
So
No, it's
Stop
not.
talking.
Also,
we've already had this conversation off
Yeah.
air. It's piss.
sidebar. I got on Joe's case and told him that anything he's heard about squirting, it's mostly just piss. And the idea that women are like ejaculating like men do is a myth. And Joe got really upset with me.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
Mhm.
It's like we broke something in him. One of the last things he was holding on to. We opened this reality to him. It's like he learned about Santa Claus. He just
Mhm. You mean
Fucking
she
killed
doesn't
him.
leave squirt underneath the Christmas tree?
When Mama's having sex with Santa Claus.
damn it, Joe.
Yeah.
You don't. They're not even that funny. But you make me laugh, and I don't like it.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, Tom's pissed off. Something, ice cream running down the arm. He's lecturing the band now. He's trying to get them focused, find their moment. And this is the thing that I really liked about Tom's character is, as the movie goes on, you'll see he's probably done this 100 times where he's called these guys out. He's given him his 2 cents. He's quit the band. He's come right back. And I like it. It's like he can't get out of it, but he can't help but try to make them better. And like, I don't know what manager out there today is like, "Oh yeah, you guys just really need to go like on a shroom journey out in the desert to write your next hit." But like, Tom's like, "Hey, if these guys believe it, let's get them the things they need. Let's get them out there." And so I really appreciated that hey, do it on your terms, but just make sure you do it. But anyways, giving him a hard time. And we kind of cut to, 5-10 minutes later. Tom's in the corner sucking down some bottle of something. He throws it out in the desert. And then I'm surprised Joe didn't catch this, but it's like some sort of knockoff remix of Aphex Twin Swindle Liquor. And now we're into we're all high and crazy things are happening. The ladies are dancing, specifically Sam and Lisa are dancing together, and Love is dancing with herself. And then Pager, he's having something. It's like he can hear his own thoughts and he's projecting how he feels. And there's a little bit of a glimpse of, is there something between him and Love? But then you cut to him communicating with a rabbit out in the desert. And he's basically pledging his fidelity to the rabbit. He's saying, "I won't push the threesomes anymore." And Stevie has a baseball bat and she's trying to hit a rock. I don't know what's going on there. But then it's all comes to a climax with Jake Busey on top of a big old rock. He says he's going to fly. Pager, "No, don't do that. We can't do that." And then, of course, he falls and breaks his leg. Or I don't quite know. They say he breaks his leg, but he's standing just fine by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Fast forward, it's the next day, and Tom Arnold is beating the shit out of a cooler with a baseball bat. Jake Busey's laying his head on it, and he's getting everybody up, and he's pissed. Last night was not what we thought it was. We thought maybe they were writing a great song about side boobs. They were going to get this new banger out. But we get this hard cut of Tom screaming at these guys, "You know what you fucking did? You know what you fucking did?" And then we cut back, and it's just them being like, side boob, blah, 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 side boob. And they're all like, and then we cut right back. It was a great edit. And Pager's waking up. He lifts up a blanket and he sees, ooh, there's love underneath him with him. Yeah-oh. And then Tom continues his monologue and he's basically like, I've dedicated my life to you guys. I gave my soul to you guys. I fucking quit because you don't give a shit about me. And then he leaves, but doesn't get more than 10 feet before he gets bit by a chihuahua-sized ant. And oh no, there's an anthill nearby and all these ants are coming up. And then, oh no, Sean Astin is wandering out of the desert covered in ants and blood. Somehow this guy survived the night getting mildly chewed upon. Well, I guess the ants were small and they've gotten bigger, so maybe that does make sense.
Yeah. Well, because
But anyways, everyone gets into the trailer except for Lisa, who goes to her car, and Pager and Stevie, who grab some lawn chairs and go to fight the ants off Sean Astin. And they are not doing very well. All the while, Tom Arnold hanging outside of the trailers giving color commentary. And again, Tom does this through the whole movie where they're just like, let's just get coverage of Tom. We got to get the Tom shots. And I love it. I put all of it in there. Give me the Tom Arnold cut of Dead Ant where he commentates over the whole film. But anyways, the lawn chairs aren't working. They're trying to get in there, but the ants are biting them. And eventually Pager's like, fuck this. And he grabs Sean Astin's arm and he's going to drag him back to the trailer, except the arm pops right off. And in probably my favorite practical effect of the whole movie, the arm comes off, but there is this long, thick, viscousy strand of slime.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And like, I'm not going to praise performances all that much in this thing, but that moment was awesome. Those Stevie and Pager are screaming their heads off. The arm's there. It's goofy. It's funny.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I like this whole scene. I liked a lot because, like, for one, it's morbid. Like him coming out covered in the ants, bleeding, dying, trying to just like it's morbid. Like, yeah, they could have probably went better with like more practicals on him and everything. But like, I love this scene. I think it's fun.
No, it's a great bit because you're cut into a lot of different stuff. It's moving quickly, but then you take the time to sit on a couple things, and you don't have. They shove everybody in the trailer for a reason because we only need like really Sean Astin's body, Pager, and Tom Arnold. And those three combined, a corpse, Tom Arnold, and a decent actor, it was great. So, and that's the end of my bit. The ants are still there, but everybody's in the trailer except for Lisa.
We get back into our trailer and the gang's taking it like decently, surprisingly well. Like I feel like they're not as like they were more freaked out in the previous scene. Now they're like, and then they get more freaked out. But there's a moment in the middle where they're just like, it's almost like they forgot that they're being attacked by giant ants and they're just accepting it. Sam realizes Lisa's missing, but she's safe. They look out and she's safe in her car. So Lisa's out in their car. So they're like, great, this solves one of our many problems. And now the band starts to mourn the death of Samwise. And they quickly remember, you know what? Hey, don't worry about it. He was only an okay bass player anyway. We got this other guy. You know, you remember the guy, Joey Ferraro? And they're like, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. We don't even need him. Artie's dead, but we got a better bass player on call. We're good to go. And it works. That reasoning works for Pager. Pager's calmed back down. I also wrote here, I hope when I die to some sort of bug-related accident, you guys do the same thing for me. I want you to mourn me for 30 seconds and then remember anyone else funnier than me and just say, we're good, and move on. Just then, the RV starts rocking, and one sneaky ant gets in. So what's interesting to me is that, like, the ants, the hive isn't, like, they're not all the same size at all times. There's littler ones, then there's bigger ones. And we've already got some big ones, like the size of a dog, roaming around outside. But one of the smaller ones, the size of like a smaller dog, gets inside the RV.
Sounds like a little dog.
Yeah, like a Pomeranian. Gets inside the RV and climbs up on Pager's shoulder. They all freak out. He throws it to the ground. When now Tom Arnold's done fucking around, he pulls out a gun, sticks it right on it, and blows it into a bunch of pieces. When asked why he has a gun, he says, I'm in the music industry. Doesn't really clear it up, but it's fine. Who cares? We can hand wave away that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just
fine. It's whatever.
I wish they...
No, I haven't...
No, sorry, Joe. I wish they had repeated that joke multiple times, where you just kept having things that were necessary for the moment.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that would have been a fun through line. You know, he does try to do that a little bit with his whole, this isn't going to end well. but he only does it like twice, so that might have.
And it's
not even
they're
been
like
a
back
thing.
to
It's just
back,
Tom
right? Because he
Arnold.
also says one like later about like I've seen this before. Like within like a few seconds, he says that.
Big
Oh,
ant.
we've been
big
through
ant.
worse than this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
you
that's
have?
it. Yeah, when he's watching the burning.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked it. Yeah, if it would have been repeated, but Tom Arnold forgot about it the second he said it. Man.
Well,
Like,
he
the
just-
director was like, I don't know what's
Even
going
though the
on.
band is no longer on peyote, Tom Arnold just started hitting it hard that day. So
Yeah, well, he drank that whole bottle of Jack too. So
It was Jim Daniels, actually. See,
that was the one thing that they.
Yeah, that's why
weird. That is
that's
weird.
why I brought that up, because I was like, I always look, especially in stuff we watch for this show, and I saw the Jim and Jim Daniels that's popped up in a few different things because it's so it's the only thing I think that's different is it's just Jim instead of Jack.
Yeah.
But then right next to it is the Keystone Light and the Bud Light, and I was like, well, what the fuck? You can't do everything.
Well,
Can
maybe-
you get away with beer,
maybe
but Jack
Jack-
Daniels is a little more litigious.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they are because their brand is so important. They're like,
I mean, it's a big brand.
They
Maybe
know.
the filmmakers thought it was like toxic to promote like hard alcohol. They'll only promote beer. They think beer's okay to drink, but not
that's
Jack.
how it.
Yeah.
beer and peyote brought on the side of the road.
Yeah. They probably put a lot of thought into that.
Well,
Like
they're
what was
making Dead
responsible and what wasn't in their big bug movie, Joe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So he shoots the bug, and now the ants leave for now. We cut back to Bigfoot and Firecracker. I love their dynamic a lot. We cut back to him, and Bigfoot's skinning like a dead animal, and Firecracker comes in with a dead rabbit and an armadillo, and he's like, we got the last two from the roadkill. It's such a bummer seeing them die. You know, he's bummed. They're living off the land and not letting anything go to waste. So he comes in, sets them on the table, and the ground is shaking a little bit, so they come to the conclusion the band must have fucked up. They're like, we got to do something. And in one of my favorite bits in the movie, Firecracker's like, all right, I'll get the bazooka. Walks over to a long tube sitting next to him, tries the trigger, and goes, oh, good, it's empty. And then goes to pick up the bazooka, which is probably 5 foot tall. He can't get it. And he's like, all right, you're going to have to grab this thing. I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Checking it with the trigger was very good.
Yeah.
That really got me.
Because the alternative is they're dead. And that's why I loved it. So they realize they got to mobilize, and that's kind of the end of their section here. It just cuts back real quick, then we're right back. Stevie kind of very quick. Stevie, you could tell, is very smart because she kind of puts 2 and 2 together a lot in this movie, and they're like, how'd you do that? And she's like, I don't know. Just figured it out.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. She's very exposition and plot convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she literally
She
like
keeps that backbeat.
they're like, what?
She's always got to be on it.
Yeah. Well, they're like, how do you like? She figures out this must be Art's fault somehow. She's like, they said not to hurt anything. I bet you Art hurt an ant, which is like, wowzers. That is a huge like
That's a leap,
assumption.
all right.
Yeah, like just to be like, that's why this is all happening. But it's fine. She was right. Meanwhile, we come back to Lisa. She's still in the car. She's looking for the phones. She finally finds one. But she's in her haste, she accidentally disables it by hitting the wrong password too many times. And back in the RV, the band decides they're like, we gotta leave. We gotta leave. But Art had the keys.
Wow.
And just as they're like, all right, well, we're gonna have to go out to Lisa because we got the keys for her car. Let's go out to her. And as they open the door, an ant roughly the size of a horse headbutts the RV and then runs away. In a moment of scared horniness, you have Pager up against Sam, whispering sweet nothings into her ear of absolute fear, like, oh, we gotta do this, we're gonna get out of here, we gotta do what we can, and just grinding up on her as everyone just awkwardly watches this happen.
I gotta admit, like, I kind of liked the moment because it's funny in a very disturbing way. I wish their age difference wasn't so big.
Right.
But it's such an awkward thing that I don't know. Maybe I'd get really horny if I knew I was going to die. I don't fucking...
Maybe. If you saw a big ant, you'd be so hard.
Oh yeah, Mr. Buckley.
That's not the voice I do.
Just like Joe gets when he sees his big ant.
Oh,
Big Ant Buckley, yeah.
He's like, pull a quarter from behind my balls. Oh, it's Uncle Soup's Second
Ant
third
stew.
life.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
Stu.
No,
Stu
no.
Bednar.
No.
Don't worry, it's spelled STEW, Joe, not STU.
Yeah,
So,
not gay.
Yeah. So,
God forbid.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
so we got the awkward horniness here. We cut back to Lisa, who finally calms down in the car just in time for a big old ant to dive into the windshield. Again, this is like we just saw an ant the size of a horse. Now the ants here are back to dog-sized. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, and do we ever see the ants grow? Like,
No, I don't think
ants
so.
Growing.
Yeah, I think it's all off screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe there's just new ants are growing. Like,
Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
But then again, like Joe said, not a logical movie.
No.
No.
Not even a
so-
little.
What would you be like? Think about that from the ant's perspective. You're just an ant doing your ant shit, and all of a sudden you grow. You're whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Were they communicating amongst each other? Like, okay, motherfuckers, now we get a chance. Let's go and
Yeah.
I guess they do because they're intelligent. They
guess.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
But I was gonna drag
The
this
antennae?
cheese off of the hive, but now I gotta go kill man.
Kill man.
Gotta go kill man.
I have ascended to a greater purpose. To kill
I
man.
must
is my
eradicate
job.
man.
So,
Kill man. Fuck off.
man is not about to die. The woman is about to die in the
Oh, very
movie.
good.
Yeah. Because we cut back to Lisa, and more ants are starting to get in there. They're jumping around on her car. They break the windshield, and she pulls out, which she mentioned earlier, buying like really expensive shampoo. Right?
Oh yeah.
She says shampoo, not hairspray, right?
She
Yeah.
she said shampoo originally.
Okay. So
Maybe they don't want to be so on the nose.
I guess, but
It's canned shampoo.
Well, it could be dry shampoo, which comes in a
Shampoo.
can
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
and does
That's
spray
true.
like that. But like, she doesn't mention. Like, I don't know. It was just, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But she
Ain't that
pulls
kind
out.
of movie, Zach?
Yeah, exactly. This isn't one of those logical movies.
No, not like Kubrick makes or Lynch.
No.
No, this is no Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, no Eraserhead this flick.
So she pulls out a lighter and some hairspray, and she starts to cook these ants alive. And the whole time, Tom Arnold's like, it's fine. I think, you know what? We've been there, seen worse than this. I've survived much worse than this. As she's like, the whole car's on fire. Then the car explodes.
Yeah.
And Sammy's not doing well. Her best friend just blew up. Also, their only hope to get out of here.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Sam Arnold's like, she's probably fine. You know what? She's fine. We'll dedicate a song to her at Nochella. It is no thing. Which I think this is the first time we realized that the band is still going to Nochella despite all of this.
Oh yeah, they gotta go. They got a deadline.
Oh
to meet.
yeah. They're not getting a lot of gigs.
Yeah, right.
Um,
I
take what
won.
you
They
can
wrote
get.
that new song, so it's like,
Yeah.
all this work for nothing. No. But he's convinced she'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it all out at Nochella, and that is, I believe, the end of my scene here.
Yeah. So Stevie figures out of nowhere that every time they kill an ant, the ants get bigger.
Yes, Stevie
Mary.
again with her wisdom.
Yeah. She's wise beyond her years.
Mhm.
Well, which would be interesting if we didn't see a legion of ants at the end. If there was like
Yeah.
One
20
giant
ants.
ant.
or even
Yeah.
That's what
or
I was
even 10
hoping for.
ants, and then by the end, the
Yeah.
last one is the size of the Hindenburg. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
yeah.
It's crawling on top of the Statue of Liberty.
But guys,
Maybe
we
a
have
flying
to have a
ant, too,
really
would've been
awful
fun.
CGI shot of a billion ants chasing after the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
So
necessary.
I want to know then, how'd that one at the beginning get so damn big?
That is a really great question.
Yeah,
How
she
many
just-
ants did
yeah.
she kill?
Was she
That
just
woman
out
really
there?
fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. She must have just
Yeah.
been stomping ants
You know,
left
you
and
wanna know
right.
what happened? I bet-
What is it? Tell me.
well, in the prequel, she's gonna
Oh,
she's
jeez,
gonna
this guy.
Alive ant.
I'm out.
she's gonna turn to the camera, disrobe, and say very robotically, "Must kill man."
Oh shit!
Uh,
Must fuck
Yes,
man.
please.
Oh,
Night of the
yeah,
Living
yeah.
Ant. That'll be the prequel.
Must get
Oh.
nude. Must strip
Ants in the
panties.
pants.
Oh, so Merrick,
You still talk?
Joe Dupod, Joe Dupod.
Joe Cast. Oh, Joe be funny.
y'all done?
Go.
Y'all done?
Never done, Joe.
Okay.
Like a disappointed teacher.
Yeah, are you done? No, you go ahead and finish.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, I got time.
Yeah, I got nothing to do.
That's the thing, y'all. He doesn't.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Joe to slam his hand down. Enough!
So Merrick lays down some cool ant facts because he watched them as a boy. He says that they like food and have a queen. He also says that if they fuck up the antennas, they won't be able to communicate, leading me to believe that he used to just rip apart ants in his room.
He's doing all these dark experiments in his room as a boy.
Yeah. So
He and Art were just pissing on ants all the time.
Yeah. All right, you piss on that one. I'll poop on this one. We'll see who can get to the maze quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they do like a tequila worm? Like put some ants in the bottom of this beer and drink them.
You know how to do tequila worm.
I got you. Hey, we got there.
We got beer
God,
ants.
you are Tom Arnold, Joe. You are Tom Arnold. Just throwing random bullshit out, stopping anything in its tracks.
No, I don't believe so. I think I'm adding levity to the pod.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
sure.
Okay.
You believe in unicorns too?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I guess if you just gotta like staple a horn to a horse.
staple a horse to horn.
That's all I hear is your throat.
Yeah. Give a horse a trumpet. And
If you give a mouse a cookie, you're gonna have to get him hard next.
That's what happens in the movie next.
So Danny decides to do the travel vlog while they're ant bait, but the others tell him to knock it off. Pager says that Merrick gets him out. If Merrick gets him out of this, and he'll play the power ballad and not complain. They look through the camper for things to deal with the ants and come up with a few cans of bug spray. They decide that their plan is to throw the bug spray into the air, shoot at them, and hopefully the poison clouds will come down and kill the ants so they can snatch the truck keys. Bigfoot and Firecracker are gearing up for the Great Ant War. They grab sticks of dynamite, and Michael Horse puts on his ceremonial garb. As they get ready to storm out of the camper, the bugs attack.
When Joe says garb, it's I don't know what it sounds like a wet food.
Yeah, I'll eat some of that garbagool.
Garbagool, gabagool.
I can't have any more pizza tonight, guys. My grandma made garb. And I'm all full up. I'm filled to the brim with garb, y'all.
That traditional Thanksgiving garb.
Oh, it's so good. It doesn't smell like it would be, but it is.
Now, Joe, you're of a certain age. It's now time for you to carve the garb. Except that
you
it's
two
time for you
can
to slap
mold the
garb.
ceremonial garb. You have to shape the garb.
Really, Papa? You think I'm ready? So, the ants are storming the camper, and there's a shot with basically a PA gets on top of it and throws paint cans onto the camper roof to make it look like the ants are stomping on them.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Because it dents in.
Yeah, it dents in. It dents in. So I
Okay.
think to get that shot, they might have had a PA just on top of the roof throwing stuff on it.
Sure, there's like a physical thing. It was cool. It was a nice. It was very appreciated after all the CG
Yeah.
to have some kind of physical interaction.
Finally,
with the ants.
something that's real.
Shut up, Joe. Don't do this. Don't bring me down like this.
Mm-hmm. So, Pager realizes that much like his shitty band has had downtime, the ants also go dormant every so often. The band is ready to go kick some thorax, but suddenly the camper gets carried away like the brain bug in Starship Troopers.
He said
Hey,
Because music.
Yeah, a little reference.
it's afraid.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep.
That's my section.
Oh, you gotta say something, Joe.
Would you let us know?
It's and
wow.
scene.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I don't understand.
Yeah, they're getting attacked. Tom wastes 2 bullets shooting into the infinite swarm of ants. Sydney Sweeney is attacked by an ant, but Pager beats it off. You don't really see him fighting it, but he just kind of goes, ah, and the ant is gone. But then Tom Arnold is bit. This is like they're getting it from both ends. There's like both sides of this streamliner are like ant central. Both windows are blown open, so ants are attacking from either side. And Tom Arnold is bit, and he just kind of like slumped over. But then Pager shoots the ant that bit him, and he dies, and they all chant "Dead ant, dead ant" as the Pink Panther theme starts to play.
Dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant,
I didn't get that.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think that was the joke.
I think you're right.
Damn it, Ryan! I think you're right.
I mean, you know,
I'm smarty pants over
Man,
here.
this is an intricate flick.
It really is. It's got layers to it.
it's
the
so
thing.
Yeah.
deep. It's
So Tom wakes up and his hand is gone. His hand is just clean missing, just gone. Then ants start coming through the skylight. And Pedro yells, "Where's the dormancy?" which I really enjoyed. After a little bit, the camper kind of comes to a stop. Oh yeah, because they're being like dragged slowly by the swarm of ants. The camper comes to a stop. They all kind of look around, investigating. What the hell? And the ants kind of disperse. They're looking outside. The ants are all climbing underground into these big ant holes. Pager investigates and sees. Oh, I just read that, Trev. They're heading underground to get bigger. They hypothesize. Tom freaks out about them doing the cross. Yeah, he's like, "You guys, if I'm ever dead again, you think I'm dead? Don't do the cross thing over me." I saw you doing the Station of the Cross. I'm Jewish. I wear the cross for fashion purposes. Which is just
That
another.
had to have been a Tom Arnold goofing,
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah.
absolutely. And he's got the cross necklace and the cross shirt too.
Yep.
They make a plan to kind of get out of this situation. Love will take Tom and Merrick to the back of the truck, and Pager and the gals are gonna go find Art's body and get the keys. So Tom and Rhett Michaels get into the back of the truck, and Pager and the girls are looking around on the ground for Ant's corpse and or keys, and Sydney Sweeney finds a big toe sticking out of the sand, which then is of course attached to a foot, and that foot belongs to Sean Astin, Art, his character.
That must have been a big foot.
Yeah, it was
Belongs
pretty
to
big
a
foot.
hobbit.
Yeah, see?
No, Bigfoot is the native man, Joe.
Oh, I got. Okay, yeah.
There's Zach with the
Ayo.
1-2. Got him. Stevie picks up the foot. It like breaks off of the leg. It's pretty gross. Tom gets a couple of decent bits in here.
Yep.
I don't remember a single one of them, but I was laughing.
Mentions how big Art's dick was.
Oh yeah,
That's
she finds
what-
that next.
Yeah.
His calves are real thick too. He's carrying around that frame. Same, buddy. Steel calves over here. So they're digging him out, and they're digging out parts of the body, and he's like completely decomposed. He's like a skeleton with some goop still stuck inside.
Yeah.
Is basically what it looks like at this point. And they're all it's disgusting. They're all hamming it up pretty big. But Stevie, the drummer Stevie, reaches down all the way down into this little ant hole thing, where the keys are precariously sitting, of course. And she manages to snatch them and pull them out right before, I assume, ants bite her hand off. And they have the keys, and that is it for my section.
Real quick question about the keys. Was that on a wiener?
Oh, I thought it was
Are
a.
those
thing-
keys
It was
Is
a
that
bit
supposed to be a
sloppy.
finger or a wiener?
Yeah, it was something sloppy kind of.
It looked like a little penis, and I thought
I
maybe
thought
it was a
thumb.
callback to that joke.
I also thought it was a
Okay.
thumb.
I think it
I
was
mean, it
supposed
would
to be
have
like
no
the
reason to be on his
testicles,
dick, but
is what I thought.
you
It's
know.
like a bloody mess. It's just a bloody mess, right?
Yeah.
It's a mess.
So now the band, they've got the keys. They're running toward the truck. All of a sudden, an ant springs out of an ant hole and kills Sam in a geyser of computer-generated blood
Yeah, that was lame.
and viscera.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold says, only the good die young. They eventually get the truck started because they're doing the whole bit. The truck won't start. They get started, and they head out. They keep saying they're heading out the wrong way. I don't know if that was ever rectified. There's some screen direction things going on in my section.
Yeah.
But they say they're going the wrong way. The ants are chasing them. Thousands of massive big ants are just chasing them. Pager's in the back of the bed of the truck, along with Gary Busey's sire. What the fuck's his name?
Jake Busey?
Jake Busey.
Jake Busey.
His sire,
Jake
his board.
Busey and Tom Arnold, they're all back there. And Pager, he's got a handgun. He shoots a few times, runs out of bullets. All of a sudden, a big ant gets up, finally catches up to the truck. It's up on the tailgate. It's trying to get into the bed. Pager starts beating it to death with a flying V guitar. He's like hitting it and he's hitting it. Then he gets, the guitar finally breaks. He grabs a can of bug spray, knocks off the top of it, starts spraying the ant in the face with the spray, and then finally gives it one final kick. Boom! Ant falls right off the tailgate. They all celebrate with some air guitar. Meanwhile, on some nearby high ground, Bigfoot and Firecracker observe the coming of the ants. They realize that the band is leading the ants to the Nochella festival. They better get to that festival and warn everybody. Back in the cab of the truck, Love flirts a little bit with Stevie. Stevie shuts her down. Then, seeing ants up ahead, there's ants in front of them, I guess. They stop, they put the truck in reverse, and then they flee. They eventually spin around, and then they're heading that way toward
They head
the festival.
back to the ants.
But there's ants in front of them. There's ants behind them. There's ants everywhere.
Yep, ants in their pants.
Cut to Nochella. We're finally seeing a very sparsely attended Nochella festival.
It's underground.
Very expensive tickets.
It's an underground
and
thing.
it's in the middle of nowhere. You had to be invited. It's tough.
They had every element you would need at a festival. Just it was like one of each thing.
Except for
one
people.
stage,
Yeah.
one tent, one food vendor.
Yeah, maybe that was intentional. Maybe that was the bit.
Oh,
It's
I
Nochella,
forgot
you know.
about that.
Who knows? All right, so yeah, they're at Nochella. Bigfoot and Firecracker attempt to warn the security. The security guard, he's got a little person security assistant, and then so they're going. Firecracker and this guy are like sizing each other up and looking at each other.
I love when he calls. He's like, "Hey, slow down there, big man!" Like, says that to Firecracker, and I was immediately like, just on board. I was just like, "Let's get them fighting. Come on."
Yeah, and so they're having words back and forth. Eventually, they start tussling. Everybody's because they're trying to get in because Michael Horse has a bow and arrow, and there's firecrackers, and there's obviously they're trying to bring in weapons, and anyway they get into a scuffle. And as they tussle, we get this karaoke version of Kix's famous song "Don't Close Your Eyes," which must be the song they're using for Gravestones,
Sonic Grave.
Sonic Grave's Don't Close Your Eyes, but it's not the actual real recording. But it plays on the soundtrack. Not a bad song if you like the genre.
Yeah.
The band then finally arrives at Nochella with ants 5 fucking feet behind them. I mean, they're right there, these ants. And then it's just a free-for-all. The ants descend upon the festival. But Stevie runs into Bigfoot. Bigfoot gives her some shit for obviously fucking things up. She apologizes. And it's a very heartfelt apology. Then the band heads toward the main stage because they want to get on the stage and warn people about the ants, even though you can see the ants. And they also think there's maybe a bunker under the stage for the bands. So they'll be safe. Then Bigfoot and Firecracker start their counterattack against the ants. Bigfoot shoots an arrow with some dynamite tied to it into the horde of ants. I think he kills one of them. Firecrackers just lobbing firecrackers essentially into the horde of the ants. Take it away,
real fast.
Tyler.
Who'd win in the fight, Plates or Firecracker?
Ooh.
Plates, because Plates is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
but Firecracker's
Plates
got
is crazy.
explosives. They're a much deadlier weapon. You know what I mean?
He does, and if he could get the firecracker to land just perfectly, explode right. But Plates, he's a whiz with those plates.
He's quick. He's very quick
crazy.
as well.
Also,
he's crazy.
The best thing about Plates, I think we're forgetting, is he's got plates everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah,
he's got dead drops
ground and
all over the nation.
But the ants may have gotten to him already.
Yeah,
that's true. Or he might have been fucking riding an ant because he's coming from a whole different world.
Maybe he's Ant-Man. Maybe he's Ant-Man.
That shit doesn't scare him.
That could be it.
Maybe he's the new Scott Lang. Shit, I don't know.
The security guard that was giving everybody guff, our two heroes, guff, runs up to the sound booth tries to take control of the PA system, but the sound mixers aren't having it, and they kill his mic. So we cut to the band. They're running through the crowd. They need to get to the stage to warn everybody. We cut to the stage, and I hope somebody has answers for me here. But we see a strange man who kind of looks like Guy Fieri as a hobbit, but with a blue goatee. And was I supposed to know him? Was I just supposed to laugh at him?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was Chris Pontius, some jackass, but he's not
What
listed
the
in IMDb.
fuck are you talking about?
Do you mean
sorry.
Preston Lacey?
Preston Lacey.
Not even close, dude.
Yeah,
Well, I got
Preston
one of
is an angel-faced cherubic man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why would you? Fat guy.
Their face looks similar. I don't know.
Not even
man,
close.
Sure. That's
Face
me.
blindness, my ass.
Mm.
More like ain't trying with them eyes.
Joe says, I thought that was Trevor in the movie.
Yeah, it's Trevor in
No,
the picture.
no.
It's good for him. Yeah, thanks.
Wow, I can't
No,
believe you got the part.
I'm
Every
guessing
bald-
maybe
every bald
Every bald guy is Tyler. Every buff guy is Zach. Every mad
guy's Trevor.
scientist is Nick. And every big fucking loudmouth is Ryan Matthew Ziegler. Yeah.
Goddamn fucking right.
All right. Anyways, Bing Bong Bing, Guy
Oh,
Fieri,
to your
Hobbit.
question, I bet you the Guy Fieri is like a producer or something. That'd be my guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like
'Cause
one of
he's-
those, like a baker,
The guy.
you know.
It's either he's in a band, he's a part of the
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
or why hire that guy? He's so distracting. No
Is he
offense.
the director?
No, I don't believe so. I looked at pictures of the director, and he looks a lot slimmer than this man. So maybe he's
I
lost
think
weight. but I
I
don't know.
thought the director was because I looked it up too. I thought the director might be the guy at the soundboard, the skinny guy. I was like,
Oh,
nope.
you think so?
I thought that because he kind of looked like him in the picture. But
Yeah,
who
could be.
knows?
That
all of
seems
the
like-
writers look like you could put them all in a lineup, and someone would not be able to choose one. They all look
Yeah,
very similar
yeah.
to one another.
Yeah. Okay. Sonic. They're announcing Sonic Grave is going to be on in 10 minutes. We're going to take a quick intermission. But enter the ants. We get shots of car-sized ants running amok all over the festival grounds. They're destroying everything. They're killing people left and right. Although, like, the killing of people isn't necessarily clear. You get a lot of screaming. You get a lot of shots of people running around with blood. I would assume it's because they wanted to avoid using the CGI shots. But I figured, like, a simple thing is that you just show somebody running and then they fall to the ground. They get dragged back. You know, there's some things they could have done. I think that would have
but a lot of
highlighted
them
it more.
also live because you see later on, like they're all cheering and clapping.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're down but not out. A lot of them are
They're all
bleeding on
bloody,
the
but they're
ground,
giving thumbs
you
up.
know.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
setup going on there. But actually, I'm realizing what would have been a fucking great setup is if everybody got to the festival, Firecracker and Bigfoot and our band, and they're like, oh my god, ants are coming, and then everybody's like, fuck you, where's the ants? Fuck you. They boo them off the stage, but then one by one, like Sam, sucked into the ground, and then blood fountain.
Yeah, I like that.
I also would have loved if there was like another band set to play Nochella called like Big Ass Ants or
Nutella.
something. Nutella called like Big Ass Ants or something, and
Yeah.
everyone thought that they were showing up, but you know,
The
everybody's
big
pumped
ants are
up.
here. The big ants are here.
Yeah.
Hey,
And one of the guys in the band
hey.
could have had tears. You know, you could have this moment where the guy in the band, his eyes fill with tears. and he's
No,
like,
even
We
better.
made it. We made it.
Even better. They're like doing this whole thing, and then you do a whip cut to Alien Ant Farm.
Ah, there it is.
And then the lead singer just shakes his head with that weird haircut he had, and he's just like, not cool, dude.
I'd have laughed at it, even though
Yeah,
I do like that
That
album.
would have been great. I would have loved to see him again with his reverse mohawk.
If they had
Right?
like
Is that what he had?
yeah.
He had this middle shave.
Yeah. That song for the movies is a fucking great song.
is,
Other than the Michael Jackson cover, but yeah, it's a pretty good record.
If they had like
Go back and
an
listen to
actual
it.
like crowd, they could have had like a couple hippies in there, like saying like, "No, don't kill the ants. Killing ants is murder." And then they get bit or something.
well, they still could have said that with a small crowd
Was that
too.
an honest suggestion, Joe, or are you just like shit posting on us?
No, I'm
just
just shit posting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was honest. That was honest. You can. There's just a timbre in his voice when there's honesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I think
sincere.
it's taken
It's a
years to
kind of
recognize
sincerity
it, but
you
I
can
do
feel.
recognize it.
My Joe
Yeah.
translator it's on the fritz. I got to get it fixed.
Your
Well, you spend
J-Chode?
too much
Yeah,
time
get
with
J-
it.
J-
You're too
J-
close. You're too close.
Well,
Yeah,
Joe loaded him up. He's
J-Chode.
not working.
What's J Chode look like? You think?
I don't know,
He's
but I
very
think you should
handsome.
draw it. Him and Joe sitting at a movie theater together.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'll go to the drawing board.
Yeah, with like his robot
Yeah.
hand in my hand.
Hey,
Sure.
you know what? We'll figure it out.
And
We'll get
actually,
there.
Ryan's sitting a couple rows back, really pissed off because
like
he's not
angry
getting
with
the whole
arms,
Joe's
his
down.
arms folded, and he's got
I'd be jealous.
he's got like a hat and like sunglasses on.
Yeah,
He's got the old the MCU disguise.
What,
Yeah.
what if I'm pouring a drink of slush in the robot's mouth like he's just short circuiting?
Yeah, what
Well,
if
now we're
I
talking
guess
The
like
first
a
one
comic
was
strip.
funnier.
I don't know what.
And what if I like thousands of robots descend and destroy, and in the future there's one lone survivor and he is John Connor?
Yeah, I'll do all that.
What the fuck? Okay, and we
Turn to Tom Arnold for a second.
we're back to the festival. The ants are destroying everything. Firecracker and Bigfoot are hiding under a truck, and then we get our good old friend Sean C. Phillips, who gets a cameo, a very brief and kind of anticlimactic cameo, as a guy running for his life hides in a porta potty. The porta potty gets attacked, and the whole shtick is basically, I don't want to fucking die in a porta potty, and then it gets like flung into the air, and you hear the Wilhelm scream. It was very bizarre.
we
Yeah,
were
I liked
spoiled by Haunted High, expecting
Yeah,
so
he's-
much Sean C. Phillips. We just
he was
didn't
like
get
part
that.
of the team there.
Yeah, we were spoiled,
Well,
you know.
I thought he was going to be in it more until I watched that video. When I saw his
Sure.
onset video, it was clear he was just showed up for the day and he was going to be part of the crowd. But I am glad he got lines. He's like the only random concert goer to get killed who got a line.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's
Yeah.
just people running around
If
screaming.
anybody out there
so.
wants to make an ant movie, I can amp that kill up to a 10. Sean C. Phillips, he's freaking out. I don't want to die in a shit house. And then all of a sudden, it's like in those movies where like a laser chops somebody in half, but the ant's mandibles, they slice really quickly right through the middle, flunk, and then the top half of the porta potty falls over, and then you see Sean C. Phillips going, and then his torso and head fall over, and then the legs and butt sink into the porta potty.
See, I had expected.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get a Jurassic Park goof, where like
Oh,
one
he's
of the
gonna
big
get
ants
eaten.
pulls off the top of the
Yeah.
porta potty and then he gets
Oh,
eaten. That's
that
what I
would've made
thought it
more
was
sense.
setting up. But again, they just were like, nah, let's just kick this thing over and deal with it later.
Yeah, and
Well, when it was flying through the air, I expected like a shot of Sean C. Phillips just covered in the dookie,
Yeah,
like Jackass 3. But
how many more Jackass references we
Yeah,
gonna get
did you
today,
watch
Joe?
those recently?
Did you
watched
just
it- he's
discover
watching it right
Jackass,
now.
Joe?
no,
Have you heard of this Joe Jackass? It's really crazy. They do these things to video cameras. I can't get
The
over it.
omelet, the vomit omelet. All right, sorry, Joe. Fuck you. We catch up with Tom Arnold, who's crawling on the ground, and he's crawling straight for a cooler. He knocks it over. Some ice and beer roll out. He grabs it. He's just about to pop the top, or he does, and then an ant shows up right in his face. And Tom, being Tom, he's like, do you want a drink of it?" And he holds his hand out, and then that last remaining hand, it's right off.
Yep.
Cut to Pager, Stevie, and Jake Busey. I think that what they were going for is like they realize they have to play their music, but we don't really know why. Like it doesn't make sense. Jake Busey, it seems like his character's more like, dude, if I'm gonna die, I gotta get my song out. But like Pager and Stevie are like, dude, we gotta play the music. It'll hurt the ants. And so they're like that slow motion bullshit. They're trying to get to the stage. Or Pager gets knocked over by something. Jake's having a hard time getting on the stage and all this crap. But then they get up there and Pager starts playing a riff, and the ants are reacting to it like it's like they're stuck, they can't move, and then Stevie gets on the drums, and then Jake Busey starts singing, and he immediately goes for the high notes, and he causes one ant's head to explode. Oh my gosh, their music is killing them. And so they launch into what's the song, Ryan?
Blow My Fuse by Kix.
Blow My Fuse. They launch into Blow My Fuse, and boom, 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 ant heads all over the place, blowing up. But then we start to see some of the wounded people. They don't really get up. They kind of roll over, and then like they immediately pull their phones out. And there's all these shots of maybe like one person dancing, and then like 4 people on the ground. Their phones are like 2 inches from their face, and they're like looking over the tops of their phones while they're. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me as good because I'm doing it right now. But they're looking over their phones while like recording. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Because it drives me nuts that people pull their phones out at concerts. I don't even fucking go to concerts, and it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna look at that fucking video again.
Nope. It's just like with fireworks. It's the same exact thing of like, you're not going to watch this back. And if you try to show it to someone, they don't want to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
No one in the world wants you to pull out concert footage and go, check it out. Because no one
gotta
wants
have
to watch
you
it.
gotta have a great camera, and you gotta be real close. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
exactly.
those phones should have been out when the ants were killing people. Not when
Yeah.
this,
Oh, yeah, that's
30-year-old
what I would've been
band is
doing.
up there playing their one-hit wonder. So anyways, boom, ants are blowing up, and then we cut to these wide shots where you see the ants like going over the dunes and shit. And so band finishes strong. It's amazing. We see the aftermath. It's a very somber moment where it's really quiet and you're just hearing, and then there's one shot of this like chubby guy giving like a thumbs up and like he's covered in blood and his belly's hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
I got bit by the ant.
And
Yeah.
he refuses to work.
Yeah.
But then our comedic savior.
His shirt says taxation is theft.
Oh,
It's covered in red slush. Yeah, we all know the guy.
yeah, everybody else is covered in blood, but this guy's covered in red
Yep.
slush.
Yeah.
They had it sale. I got it half off.
And because I pulled the cup out of the garbage and they gave me refill cost, not full cost.
That is a trick you
That's
can
a
use when
Joe
you're at a
strat.
sporting
Don't
event.
do it.
Yeah, whenever you're at
Yeah.
a theme park and a movie theater, pull things out of the garbage and have them refill it.
Yeah. Joe feels it's degrading to go to work and get paid in
Yeah.
honest days, but he's okay eating shit out of the garbage
On
can.
Well,
camera.
I am part of the
on-
anti-work movement.
On camera.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
let's just keep
Shut up,
moving.
Joe. You're not
Let's
a part of
just
any
keep
movement.
moving.
You're only a part of one movement every 2 days, and it's in the bathroom.
The bowel movement.
Ooh, got him.
Yep.
Okay, our comedic savior, Tom Arnold, arrives. He's on stage. His arms held out wide with the 2 bloody nubs. And he's looking around. He's realizing the audience is there. They're captivated, but they're in shock. Our band just finished. They hit that last note. They nailed it. They did great. And so Tom seizes the moment. He begins a slow clap with his nubs. And as he does it, you get a
I like this. I
sweltering
did like
sound
this.
and blood shoots out everywhere.
Fucking
And then he
killed me,
picks up
dude.
momentum. Come on, everybody, come on. And then the crowd, oh my gosh, they're picking it up. We keep cutting back and forth from the crowd to Tom. Tom's slamming his. It's great.
I did like
He goes
that.
to hug the band. They're grossed out by his whatever. But the crowd's roaring, Sonic Grave, Sonic Grave. And then we cut to the credits and we get that studio recording of Side Boob. And that's the end.
Yes. That's it.
Of
Yep.
this movie.
Dead end.
That ass.
Dead ant. Dead ass. Dead comedy from Joe.
I think I had some good comedy in this episode. I don't know.
I think I want your fucking rating, Joe. From a scale from malevolent to benevolent, spit it the fuck
Oh,
out.
I'm going malevolent then.
That's bullshit.
What? No, I didn't. I thought the movie was a little bit boring. I didn't really enjoy any of the characters. I didn't like hate them, but I didn't like any of the characters. The CGI was really bad. No, I didn't like this movie.
Okay.
All right, I'll see what Tyler has to say.
I'm sorry, Joe. I think you're wrong, bud.
Okay.
I don't disagree about the CGI. The CGI is not great. Like I said, there are a couple comp things that they do that do turn out very well. But I will say this caveat: it's benevolent. It's a benevolent. It's I would say a firm benevolent, but not like a great one. Because I do think it's funny. It has its moments, whether it's you're laughing at the jokes that are just not funny at all, or you're laughing at the jokes that are intentionally funny, or you're just laughing at Tom Arnold. It has bits throughout that kind of keep you going. I like the psychedelic shit wasn't that funny. So like, you have to sit through 3 minutes of that of a music video. And like there's some stuff earlier on. But once you get to like the ant stuff, it really does pick up momentum. Overall, enjoyed what it tried to do. I agree it needed either more money to complete the vision, or it just needed to go harder in like the slapped stick bullshit. Just go way harder into that stuff. And then yeah, I don't know. If anything, it's like one of those movies where I kind of wish there was more cameos from just fucking weirdos, not like bands, but just like kind of oddball people. Like I almost wish that this was like a half Goonies reunion with Data, and like just other
You want the
random
Sharknado
people.
treatment.
Yeah,
Because
a
there's
little bit.
cameos galore in Sharknado.
A little bit. Yeah, it's one of those things where I think this is probably fun when you're with a group of friends and there's a conversation going on in one corner, there's 2 people making out in the other corner, and then there's like 3 or 4 of you guys on the couch just watching the movie. It's that kind of movie. It's fun, it's loud, it's just ridiculous. So, firm benevolent. I wouldn't necessarily say go watch it tomorrow. But if you're a big fan of Tom Arnold, I'd say buy that bitch on Blu-ray.
Buy that boy on blue.
Yeah, this This is some Tom Arnold.
That's right.
This is pure TA.
Well, I mean, folks, there's no denying that this is a benevolent movie if I've ever seen one. This is pretty good. This isn't, I wouldn't put this like super top tier benevolent, but I do like it quite a bit. Probably would revisit this one. There's a lot of good bits in it. A lot of Tom Arnold just saying the dumbest shit, but he says it in a way that makes me laugh. And that's all that matters. Yeah, the CG sucks. It's not like reinventing the wheel or anything. I wish there was more. I would like some more cameos. Also like some more deaths. The deaths are kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. I still had a pretty good time with it. But yeah, absolutely benevolent. Zach, have you given us your rating yet? I don't
I
believe
have
so.
not.
What do you think?
I'm in the same camp. This is benevolent for me. This is now it's interesting because like a good movie, no. But this, as someone who loves Sharknado, I love the Lavalantulas. You put shark in the title, I love it. Like those kind of movies. These are super hot, minus the charm, add the budget. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that this started with charm in there. Like our movies, there was probably charm. Someone wrote this, and then as the budget came in and this happens, that happens, you know, you lose some of that charm, but you still get the core of the movie. That's what this is. And like, I love them. I love these things. There's not too much thought. They probably had a blast making it. I'm sure everyone forgot about that they were in this movie. You could probably go talk, like if you went up to Sean Astin at like Comic-Con at C2E2 or something, you're like, hey, loved Dead Ant. He'd be like, excuse me? Like he doesn't remember he was in this, but I'm sure they had a great time making it. So for me, that makes it benevolent. If you like the cheesy sci-fi kind of movies, this is right up your alley. So benevolent for me.
Yeah.
There's one more.
And I believe is it Mr. Ryan Matthew Ziegler? Would you like to
Stink
tell us
Bug
how much you
Ziegler.
loved to live? How much did you love this movie?
Let me tell you this. Let me put it this way. If you like this kind of stuff, if you're like Zach and you like the Sci-Fi Channel and Sharknado, and if you're like the Zach, he's the Zach. He's a name brand. And you like this stuff, you're going to like Dead Ant. I mean, it's right up your alley. I don't like those things.
Fair.
I love big bug nature run amok movies up until about the early 90s. Once that CG started coming in and it all started being tongue in cheek, I'm like, I tune out. That doesn't mean I dislike all of them. I love Insecticidal. That one, because it went absurd enough, and it was, you know, and we had a good time with that one. But I don't want to side with Joe 100% because I don't hate the movie. Like I said, if this is your cup of tea, you're gonna have a good time with it. I would never tell you not to watch it. It is a malevolent for me because I don't like these kind of movies, and I'm the minority, and I really can't stand Tom Arnold. If he's directed tightly, like in True Lies and The Stupids, I think he's funny as hell in The Stupids. He's good, you know.
Joe,
classic film,
Joe
The
rip on
Stupid.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like the stupids. What are you, dumb? Are you a dummy?
It's a John Landis movie, Joe. But
Well, he's a killer.
shut the fuck up.
Fucking
Okay.
hell.
We're not going fucking there.
Trigger me,
Okay.
Buckley.
Anyways, I'm not a lot to say. I'm not a big fan of the Tom Arnold, but if you love Tom Arnold, you're going to love the movie. I was embarrassed for Sean Astin. I felt bad watching him the whole time. But you know what? And I feel there were some missed opportunities. And the one, and not even budget-wise. Something I wish they could have done, because they never, at least that I could tell, they never specifically say ants. So what if you could have had this moment where they're fighting ants and all of a sudden a fucking armadillo, a big ass armadillo comes by because somebody just hit the armadillo that was on drugs.
Or a fly
You know?
or something, because they specifically say don't harm any
Yeah.
flies.
Oh,
yeah.
that
You
would
could've
have
went
been more
crazy
interesting
with
if
it.
everything they killed while they were high came
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
but 10
yeah.
times bigger.
Like
And that could have been the way it ended. Like, oh, they killed the ants and then, oh fuck, you know.
yeah.
There could have been potential there. I mean, who
There's
knows?
like a
Maybe that was an idea for a
400-foot
sequel.
scorpion.
Or there's
That'd be
there's a 50-foot hooker that Jake Busey killed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That shit, I would have stood,
Or
that might have twisted
Sean
me right over to
Astin comes
benevolent.
back, very
Yeah.
large.
Yeah, Giant Sam.
Yeah.
Sean Astin, there's just a big piece of paper that says Sean Astin's Goodwill in 2004 and 2005. He killed it. But anyway, long story short, no, it's a malevolent for me, but I wouldn't say don't watch it. If you like this kind of stuff, you'll have a good time with Dead Ant. So, and it fit the bill for the rock and road trip. So well done, well chosen.
Thank
So-
you. Thank you.
So that's where I land.
Good. So it's up to Trevor and Sean. of Macabre Nights to get us to the end here. And what's the plan?
We are gonna be watching the movie that Sean named last time that I
Hard
can't
Rock
remember the
Zombies.
name of. Hard
Rock
Zombies.
Zombies. Oh, fellas.
Sean
Looking
was
forward
so
to it.
in on this movie that it was just undeniable. I didn't want to fight him, so
You have to physically fight him.
I know he. Supposedly we watched at 4 a.m. If so, I don't recall it. I might not
I
have
believe
been there.
I believe this is a movie we initially pitched for our first movie, even, but then decided to keep looking for something else. So
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I owe somebody $5. Nobody in particular. But I was taking a bet in my head.
I'll take it if you.
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, I could use $5.
I was taking a bet in my head that Joe would say a certain something today, and he didn't. Does anybody have any guesses what it is?
It's frightening. Hey,
No. It's not necessarily a catchphrase. It's just something he's brought up more than he ever should have.
Oh, I don't know.
Ant farm dickhole.
Oh, yes.
well.
It's been so
Dickhole.
long, I feel like.
yes, I forgot that existed.
I just knew of the film. Is that such a big deal?
I was just waiting to jump down your throat if you brought it up, but you didn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
And
no,
there's
I
places
understand.
you could have, and it would have been clever. If
Yeah,
you could have
yeah.
placed it in a way, because it's part of the lore.
Well, we talk
It
about
could have been.
penises in this, and so I was like, here it
Mhm.
comes, here
I
it
know.
comes.
Oh, well, I've been scared off from using it. That's fine.
Good.
Well, bullshit. Nobody's ever. We have tried our best to scare you off of bits, and it never has worked.
We've been trying
You
to scare
cannot
you
be
away
deterred.
in general, and you keep coming back.
I'm like a dog. I'm like a dog with mange. You keep
Like a
kicking
dog
me in
we
the
fed.
ass, and
Did
I
you
keep
say
running away.
with
With
mage?
a mage dog, a wizard dog. Is
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's
That
the
sounds
next movie.
pretty sick.
Expecto Patrolum.
All right.
Very,
All right,
you
folks.
almost had it. Almost had it.
Hey, Joe.
Expect
Hey, if you like what you hear, if you like what you hear and you like the channel, give us and you just stumbled upon this because you're a big Dead Ant fan, or maybe you worked on the movie.
Or if you're
Oh.
Jake
Give us-
Busey.
Yeah. Hey, Jake, big fan. Love to get your dad on the show. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, share it to if you're in any weird movie group, share it to the group, share it around. We don't care.
Buy the
Yeah.
Monster Lover T-shirt. No one's got
Ooh,
it yet.
yeah.
Buy the Monster Lover T-shirt. Nobody, because here's the thing, nobody knows what it means, and they're and it's gonna be that cool outsider thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally
Yeah.
the only person in the world wearing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Be the
Oh,
first.
it's an NFT in real life. Get on this hot NFT bandwagon.
I mean, kind of.
Join the
Joe's
blockchain
kind
chain.
of right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
It
there
actually
you
provides more than an NFT because it'll keep you warm.
That's true.
So there's
Yeah.
that.
go. Hey, Joe,
Yes.
tell me an ant joke right now.
Okay. So there's one ant, and he's like walking along, right? And he says to the other, like, hey, ant. Oh, yeah, can I get a bite of that thorax? And she says, no way, you ain't got any crumbs on you.
I don't
What the
even know.
fuck?
It's cool because you were
Worst
going for
goddamn
ants
thing.
and we heard
It's a little
crickets.
ant prostitution joke. I don't know.
Prostitution.
I think the best ant joke was the one about
About my ant, yes.
about Stu Bednar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stu fucking Bednar. Yeah, she loose as shit, man.